Hi, everyone. Welcome to Max Payne. This is the last part of my playthrough. If you're watching on YouTube, trust me, you haven't missed anything from the previous hour and a half of this stream here tonight. I just pressed the buttons to turn it on, and now I'm going to play Max Payne, the third part. Here we go! Max Payne! Wonder what that rapscallion's going to get into this time. I think he's on drugs again. Let's check in on our friend Max. Okay. We're good, right? Folks on YouTube don't know what happened, right? They're not suspecting anything? Okay. Max is on drugs again.
Who's there? Max?
Oh. I was getting ready to shoot, but then I forgot I'm in a drug sequence.
Max?
That's me.
Where are you, Max?
Turn the lights down.
Please.
Is that my wife? Is there going to be platforming here again? It's a weird choice to have these parts start with these kind of platforming drug sequences.
Please, Max, no. I'm sorry. Please don't, Max, no.
Is she apologizing for getting murdered?
No, please, God, no.
Okay.
Max? Where are you, Max? Please.
I'm going to try to recap the story from my memory.
Staring at me.
Hang on. Okay. Max Payne is a cop. He was investigating stuff, and then somebody broke in and killed his wife and baby. And then he went into a deep depression, and he worked undercover trying to bring down a drug ring because the city of New York City is taken over by a drug called V or Valkyrie or something. And so he found his way, working his way up and everything, and then there was a setup in the subways where they killed Art, his handler, and so now he's a fugitive from the law because everyone thinks he killed his friend and joined a drug ring. And so now he's trying to work his way up and find the main dude, Punchinelli, and he just killed like a cult guy that was attached to the thing. So he's trying to clear his name and get revenge because I think the drug ring was somehow involved with his wife's death. Is that all mostly correct? I've got the general gist here, right? Is there any major thing I'm forgetting here?
Bartender is shiny stuff and dreams are made of stooped necromancers. He sings like a banana wrist, having strayed too close to the constellations on their shaved skulls.
There was a bad line in the prank call. Someone spouting insane babble. I couldn't make sense of it. But I had an overwhelming sense of deja vu, and the caller's voice sounded oddly familiar.
Oh, so Punchinello died? Government goons showed up and killed Punchinello? Okay. I think I thought he was still alive. So do I know who the big bad is at this point?
The weird piece of paper looked
Oh, the
dangerous.
woman and the people in suits.
Don't lose it. It's Valkyr. The drug. Snap out of it. Try to remember.
I forgot there was an old
There
lady.
was a bad line in a prank call. Someone spouting insane babble. I couldn't make sense of it. But I had an overwhelming
old lady
sense
injected
of
me?
deja vu, and the caller's voice sounded oddly familiar.
I'm not going to worry about getting items here because I have a feeling they will not persist past this. Oh, she drugged us with an overdose of Valkyr at the end of the last stream. Got it. She called my house at the beginning. I do remember someone calling the house at the beginning. Okay, are we platforming? There's fun stuff back there? Uh-oh. I'd have to restart the chapter? What did I miss? Piston says it'd maybe be worth restarting the chapter? The whole chapter? Really? How far back? The whole chapter? Oh, God. All right. People seem adamant about it. Let's, how do I do that? I don't even know how to do that. That, I guess? Okay. Well, let's restart the... Here we go. Ready? No one's going to know anything. Ready? Oh, hi, YouTube. I'm playing Max Payne. Pay no mind to... the stream hasn't been going for an hour 35 before this. You didn't miss anything. Here we go. Let's play Max Payne. See what our buddy's up to. Here we go.
Who's there?
I'm gonna. By the way, I'm seeing this all for the first time. I'm not. I don't know what's coming for the first 5 minutes of the stream. It's not that I accidentally skipped something and had to restart the chapter. So if you're seeing this, you're seeing it for the first time with me, YouTube. Here we go. All right.
No, please, Max, no.
I apparently.
Please don't.
All right, listen, YouTube. I'll let you in on something.
No, please, God.
I did this, and apparently I missed a couple good cutscenes. And the chat was adamant. Look, take it up with the chat. This isn't on me. The chat was adamant. They were unruly, downright unruly, I would say, demanding, saying, I will contact Twitch and find a way to cancel my subscriptions if you don't go back and restart this chapter. So that's what we're doing.
Where are you, Max?
Blame them.
Please.
Oh,
The letter
that
was
wasn't far at all.
staring at me.
Bartender is shiny stuff, and dreams are made of stooped necromancers. He sings like a banana wrist, having strayed too close to the constellations on their shaved skulls. The
There was a
ringing of
bad
frogs
line in
ended,
a prank
and
call.
blood comes to
Someone spouting insane babble. I couldn't make sense of it. But I had an overwhelming sense of deja vu. The caller's voice sounded oddly familiar.
I'm being told to check this note.
There was something disturbingly familiar about the letter before me. The handwriting was all pretty curves.
You're in a graphic novel.
The truth split my skull open, a glaring green light washing the lies away. All of my past was just fragmented still shots, words hanging in the air like balloons. I was in a graphic novel. Funny as hell. It was the most horrible thing I could think of. The weird piece of paper looked... There was something disturbingly familiar about the letter before me. The handwriting was all pretty curves.
See,
You're in a computer
this is a
game,
Matrix
Max.
Resurrections thing.
The truth was a burning green crack through my brain, weapon statistics hanging in the air, glimpsed out of
Okay.
the corner of my eye, endless repetition of the act of shooting, time slowing down to show off my moves, the paranoid feel of someone controlling my every step.
Okay, yeah.
I was in a computer game. Funny as hell, it was the most horrible thing I could think of.
All right, that's good.
Don't lose it. It's Valk here. The drug. Snap out of it. Try to remember.
It was a bad line in a prank call, someone spouting insane babble. I couldn't make sense of it. But I had an overwhelming sense of deja vu, and the caller's voice sounded oddly familiar.
All right. There might be platforming ahead of me. Just in case you're unprepared for that. It could be bad. I did the Rainbow Road trick last time. We will see if I will be able to do it this time. I should quick save here. Or once I get... Okay. This is where we were when we restarted the chapter. So I will save now. Let's just wing it. Let's just go for it. Gotta test how far you can go. Pretty far. Quick save. Good thing there's just a baby incessantly crying again. Hey, for those who have kids that are babies, or I guess kids that used to be babies, how much of their, like, give me a percent. How much of their waking life, I didn't hit the jump button, that's important. How much of their waking life is spent crying? I ask genuinely, I don't know, but I know it's like, it's the thing that babies do. You always see it in the movies. Is it 15 to 20? 20 to 25? Okay. Okay. Newborns rarely cry at all. Don't they sleep a lot? Why did I wasn't holding up. What was happening there? 30%. Jesus. So I can just jump straight across. Wait. God damn it. Let's do the thing where we check left first. God damn it. It's really thin. We're going to hear that scream a lot, aren't we? Okay. Let's take an inventory here. We're going to go left first. Okay. Maybe I should jump first and then press up. Can I just do it this way? Nope, that didn't work either. Give it a little run up first that time. Here we go. This time. Yeah, now we're talking. But I can't quick save here because what if this is the wrong way? So I just got to do this right. Shit. Why am I screaming? What's happening? The fuck is happening? That sucked. Oh, God. Rainbow Road. I feel like I have way more control in the air. Okay. This fucking sucks. And I feel like I can never quick save. Because what if I went the wrong way? Sucks. I really dislike this. Okay. Is that a good sound? Okay. Wait, what's that way? Have I tried that way? Gotta get that momentum up. Okay. This sucks. He like drifts.
Good
It's like
choice.
doing this with Joy-Con drift. Thank you, mister. God damn it. Wait, was this a scream? This way? Follow the crying like the Lost Woods? Seems like there's just a lot of crying going on.
Good choice.
Thank you, Temis. This sucks so bad. Stay above? If that's the case, then I'm fucked. Where haven't I gone? Quick save here. I'm gonna do it. Okay, this. Oh, this. I saw candles over there. Okay. Yes. Oh, the crying. Yes. Woo!
Max! No, Max!
Murderer! You killed her!
No! Is it me? Am I shooting myself? Psychology. He matrixed.
Max, something happened at the office today. A strange memo. Something about Vikings.
Honey, I gotta run. You can tell me all about it this evening.
Have a nice day, darling.
The bullet holes were rubies on her chest, blood glowing on her ivory skin. She was so beautiful. The killer was smiling. The flesh of fallen angels. Slowly, the green nightmare faded, leaving dark stains on my soul that would never come off. I felt like flatlining. I was all shook up. I woke up in a cold sweat, sick and tired to the bone, lying in a puddle of my own puke.
Yeah.
The hag had said take me to Cold Steel before it had all gone crazy. It was a clue, the only one I had. It took
Cold
me forever
steel.
to crawl back to my feet and hit the road, but when I did, I drove straight to Cold Steel Foundry outside the city. There was a whole lot of action around the place for a freezing winter night. Trucks coming and going, men running. I had the drop on the mystery witch. She thought I was dead. I was on her blind side. I was going in. The bad trip had put me in a crazy mood, adrenaline pumping through my aching veins. Staggering on the mill roof in ice and snow and wild wind, I was a ninja. My kung fu was strong.
I always say that about
I
myself.
wasn't hitting anybody. At best, I was Superman on kryptonite about to fall through a skylight, down to where it was all going down. A half-abandoned industrial area in the middle of nowhere. The factory was a perfect front for any number of illegal activities. In the belly of the plant, molten metal boiled and bubbled like a witch's brew.
How's the sound mix right now? Is this good? Bad stuff happens in factories and action movies. You know, when I had that nitrous on Monday, when I had my crown taken off and drilled into and replaced and all that, it's crazy. It was just nitrous. I wasn't knocked out, and I was just like, yeah, just go to town. Like, I used to have, like, crippling dental anxiety, and I was, like, conscious, but I was like, it's fine. It's just go ahead. Go to town. It was, that stuff works really well. Does nitrous actually help the pain at all, or is it just, like, a mental thing, you know? Did I say any crazy stuff? No, but I think I was biting down without realizing it. I think I accidentally bit the nurse's thumb or something, and I felt really bad, and I felt bad ever since that. So I'm going to apologize when I go in to get the permanent crown put in. What do we got going on here? This seems not great. Okay. Why didn't Wahlberg for this?
Life-threatening weather conditions. A record-breaking killer storm. In the city's history.
Nitrous isn't covered by insurance, though, so I gotta pay, like,
Heavy
you know, what is it,
snowfall.
$100 a pop?
Forecast shows severe weather is expected to continue.
But if you put under, it was gonna cost like
Fell
$600.
confetti over the Devil's Parade. The storm was anything but over.
Jesus, Vinny Bush says, "Oh, I was awake for a procedure where I watched a sonogram of a needle going into my neck, and they gave me something, so I just thought it was really interesting and not awful." Man. Dental drugs, how the fuck do they work? That's crazy. That disappeared. Was he shooting the ceiling? It's bad aim. A big highway drive tomorrow. First one in a while. Go up to kind of upstate New York for a day thing. Be better about the highway driving, I think. Whoa. Closer. Cool. Oh yeah, I got that new assault rifle thing. I forget, did we check on Max Payne, the movie, being on Prime Watch Party stuff? It's not, right? It's not free? Oh, good idea, D-Van. Hey Siri, remind me to check for retro game shops upstate. Oh, it's on HBO Max. I love HBO Max. I don't want to spoil anything here. I don't know if anyone watched The Search Party. It's been a great show, but the final season just went up recently on HBO Max, and we finished it. And boy, howdy, every season is great of Search Party. This last one is not the funniest season, but it is one of the bolder seasons of television I've ever seen in that they take wild fucking swings with that show that I don't want to spoil here, but it was fucking awesome. Oh, I'm bringing a weighted blanket for a dental appointment? That's smart. Okay, I see some people watch season 5. Yeah, if you watch season 5, you know what I'm talking about. They do things I've never really seen a show do before. The fuck? Go to hell. Quick save for a reason. Let's try this. Lead apron. Oh yeah, that would just work as a weighted blanket, wouldn't it? The like X-ray apron. I like having the lead apron on me. Damn, I have a weighted blanket that I saved for the winter, and I keep forgetting to bring it out this winter. Theodoric says, I'm very curious about a weighted blanket, but don't know anything about them. I'll tell you, Theodoric, I got a weighted blanket, and I don't know. You see a lot of stuff these days, be like, oh, it's good for anxiety and stuff, and I don't think it's like for actual anxiety stuff. It's like, there's no way I would be having like a panic attack and put on a fucking weighted blanket and be like, I'm better now. That's just not that simple. But there is something, like, it feels nice to have this like weighted blanket, just like, you just feel kind of cocooned up, and it's just a nice feeling. So I don't know how much science there is behind the actual, like, oh, it's going to anxiety, or it's not. That's ridiculous. But it feels nice. It feels nice. I like it. Though I found something out today. So we had been turning off all the heat in the house every night and opening the window in the bedroom because we like it cold in there. And it gets very, very cold. By the time we wake up, it is like too cold. Oh shit, I didn't mean to use those painkillers. And then I found out it's probably not good for the heater or the boiler or whatever to, you know, because it gets down to like 50 degrees by the morning. And it's probably costing a lot of money to get that back up to the mid-60s in a day. So I think we got to start keeping the heat on in sub-zero temperatures. Depends on what form your anxiety takes. The weighted blanket helped me a lot. That's great to hear, Dark Farley. I think when I hear anxiety, the first thing I think of is like panic attack, like crippling, like cannot function type stuff. And I know that like there's not like there's no way a weighted blanket would like stop a panic attack for me. But in terms of just like maybe like, you know, I've got generalized anxiety disorder too. If I was just having like an anxious day or something, it'd probably feel nice to like put on some comfy clothes and just get under a weighted blanket or something for sure. But yeah, I think a lot of products these days make some pretty bold claims about things, and I don't know, on bigger ailments that a product such as the ones I'm talking about can solve. Even like, you know, CBD and stuff. I like CBD oil. I take CBD oil and the gummies and stuff like that. I've done that stuff. It's nice. If anything, it's very, very mild. I can't say it's made a massive difference in like my anxiety day to day or anything like that, but you know, I like it. Bartman, thank you for the quick save reminder. I needed that. Zoidberg says, I like CBD, but it gives me nightmares. Interesting. I don't think I've had that. That would be a good reason to stop. Oh, fuck! Thank you for the quick save reminder. You saved me there. Ignorance. Hello. super vivid nightmares. That's yeah, Zoidberg, that's not bad. There are those ones you can have sometimes where like you wake up and it's just like it takes time to recover. You know, I don't have nightmares that often, but like I know that feeling where it's like bad enough and vivid enough where you wake up and you're like, fuck! Like you gotta like even once you know that you're good, you know, like you're safe and everything, it's just like it's your body has to come down from it, you know. Ever had a lucid dream? Yes, Killer Kid, plenty. I was very fascinated with the concept of lucid dreams when I was in college, and read a bunch of books on it and stuff, and learned a bunch of methods, and like, oh boy, all the different stuff. The WBTB method, the wake back to bed method, where you time out your REM sleep cycles, and you set yourself to wake up right before the longest REM cycle before you wake up happens, and then as you fall asleep, you remind yourself that the next thing you see is going to be not reality, and then you do a reality check where you check your watch twice, or you turn on a light and see if it turns on, or you try to read text on a page and see if it gets all fucked up. The light one worked the best for me, but then, the great one too is the reality check in a dream is plug your nose, take a big inhale, and if you can still breathe, you're in a dream. And if you can't breathe, you're in real life, and you shouldn't, try to fly or whatever. But yeah, typically I would get. This is very common too when people are learning how to lucid dream. I would get so excited, like, holy shit! I confirmed I'm in a dream, and I would wake up immediately. But there are tricks and stuff on staying in it at that point, and there were a few times that I was able to get like full on lucid dreams and like fly and stuff where it felt completely real. And that is a crazy fucking feeling to be like, I know I'm dreaming right now. And I would always try to explain to people in my dream what a lucid dream was. I don't know why I always felt the need to explain that, but then I'd be like standing on a deck and explaining to like my sisters, like I'd be like, hey, look, I'm dreaming, watch. And I would jump off the deck and like fly away or land and be like, see, ta-da, I'm totally fine. Yeah, lucid dreaming is fascinating. Is it worth the effort? The times I was able to get it to work, it was really cool. It was very, very unique. You're like running through walls and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But, and I guess the effort isn't that, I read a book and read some methods and stuff like that. I did this stuff where I would like wake up, I would track REM cycles and stuff like that. And like that, I didn't always do that. So yeah, I guess you can decide how much effort you want to put into it. But yeah, it's really cool. It is. So it probably took, probably like a month or two of like reading about it and learning about it. I was able to occasionally have them. Okay, Ignorance Prince says, cool guy dive over the lasers. I just quick save. Let's see if you can. Yeah! It was cool. Okay. All good action movies end in a warehouse. Or like a weird smelting plant. Terminator 2. Metal Gear Solid. That's all you need. Terminator 2 is like the best movie. Metal Gear Solid is like the best game. They both end in a weird lava factory. Let off some steam, Bennett. That might as well be a lava factory. Tony Hawk 3 starts in one. Good point. Female. Lava factories are great. Or no, it's a lava factory, or just like a factory that just makes sparks or belches flames. Like I think Con Air at the beginning, he's getting in that fight in front of the bar, and there's just a factory in the background just belching flames into the night sky. Every Mario game? Yeah, good point. Star Fox 64 is that Lava Planet? Yeah. This is fun. Running down hallways shooting dudes. Back in the day when a game would just let you save in the middle of, like, a bullet could be in the air heading towards your head in a video game. And you could just be like, yes, quick save right now. The amount of sparks in the airplane hangar and Face Off. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You can judge a movie based on how many sparks and lava factories it has.
Can you believe it? I bet they sleep with their rifles. I bet they've given them names.
I guess. So, you don't have a name for your gun?
Hello? Hell no. You do?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Hey, let's hear it.
Well, I call it Dick Justice.
I rest my case.
Why? Not sure why I'm using the sniper rifle. It's the first thing that popped up. How do the T-1000 CGI scenes hold up in 4K? Good. I mean, it's obviously early CG. I mean, but it's just so simple that it doesn't look that bad. I think once movies started trying to do like more detailed CGI before they were able, that's when it looks bad.
Perimeter breached. The facility has been compromised. Repeat, the Deep Six has been compromised. Initiate Operation Deadeye.
The walkie-talkie military lingo could mean only one thing. They were getting ready to
Name my
destroy the evidence
guns.
and vanish into the
Okay,
night.
when I got the dual pistols, that's
So
Waldorf and
close, the hidden
Statler.
truths were just around the corner.
Right, fan of Starship Troopers? Yeah. Yes, True Blue, that's Stranglehold you're thinking of. Shit. The plane crash in Air Force One, yeah, and that's the thing. Air Force One doesn't have a ton of CG in it, but that one shot at the end in a big climactic moment is just like, oh, that's very 1995, 1996. It's hard-boiled hold up. I watched it a couple years ago. It's still fun. I think. Ooh, good game. I think watching it now, I think it's, you know, you can see the influence and stuff, but it's not like, whoa, constantly now, but you appreciate it for its place in history.
Merchandise missing again. A chemist had tried to smuggle it out for his own private party. Locked him up in cell B7 in D6's old test facility to wait for proper processing.
I was close enough to hear the secrets.
Mission Impossible
just
2
beyond
is
the next
dumb
doorway.
fun, yes. Yeah, the hospital seems really cool. So weird not having any kind of down sight for most of these guns. Seems like something's going to explode here, right? No? We're just doing this? I can't crouch walk, right? Ow! That's not a good way to die. Just sit down. Oh. What happened there? Where am I? Bought a couple games on eBay today, some old stuff. Some a Nintendo 64 and a Game Boy Color Grappler of the same title. Oh, interact with it, don't shoot it. I feel like I'm treating everything like when Homer gets a gun and he's using it to like turn lights off in his house. I forget that there's other ways to interact with things. Ah, yes. Loved in Metal Gear Solid when you found out you could just like dunk guys in the lava. You guys ever played Metal Gear Solid? I have to check and see if I've ever done a playthrough of that on the internet. Mike Mahardy in the Simpsons updates. I when he brought it up on the most recent Fire Escape, I was surprised because we hadn't talked about it. I just assumed he had like, without saying it, stopped watching them and like abandoned the plan. But he brought it up. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know you were still doing that. Because he fucked it up from the beginning because he fucking didn't do it in order. Because I had watched all the ones the same way I would for like All Systems Goku. I watched all the ones saying, okay, we're going to go in order of this list here. And he did it chronologically. And so we were fucked from the beginning. Blame Mike is what I'm saying. Oh, good. Use painkillers again. A simple list of notable bad episodes for him to watch. Oh, the Skinner one, and then everything after that, pretty much. Now can I shoot it? That's the one, Ticklewitz. DSM, it's just that that one is not a particularly great episode, and then, not that they were all great around there, but that's one that's especially not great at a time when the show was starting to just kind of go down. There we go. Okay. Unfortunate room. Just going down. Oh, of course. Same Psycho. 100%. What would have to happen for The Simpsons to end? True Blue, honestly, at this point, one of the core cast members to die. One of the core 6. Or quit, but I mean, they just keep basically making crazy contracts and stuff. Like, whenever it's been up, they've all been like, no, we're not doing this unless we get X amount. And it's nuts. Yeah, I mean, Shearer, how old is Shearer at this point? Julie Kavner. Kavner is the one that's the most noticeable now from the little I've seen of modern. Do you think they had the last episode recorded in case one of them dies? That's very... I've never considered that. That is very interesting to think about, though. That'd be smart. You'd have to think they did. Remember when I went to a Simpsons table read in person with Werner Herzog? That's one of the weirder moments of my life. Can I go down there? Is that fine? the script. If you ever see that orange thing up on the wall up there, that's the script with Werner Herzog's signature on the front. Was the episode good? I never actually saw the episode. Is that Letterman to the right? Yeah, it's Letterman. What are we trying to do here? Oh. Painkillers? No. Really use some. Is Family Guy still going? I don't know, but I never watch Family Guy. But every time I go home, love my dad. I don't even watch the show. I don't like the show. But I hear every fucking joke because my dad's like, oh, it's like the Family Guy when Peter was doing this thing and then he yelled this thing. And it's just like, yes, okay. Like literally anytime he starts it, like, it's like the Family Guy. All right, Dad. Is it still on? Family Guy? And yet my dad is so proud and he's like, I've never seen a single episode of The Simpsons or South Park. He always proudly is like, I've never seen that. Fucking congrats, Dad. Yeah, I've seen Cats now. That's true. Home movies, I've never seen that. That's like bragging you've never had McDonald's or Wendy's but loving Burger King. Yeah, it's like, I don't understand the brag. I adopted a lot of my dad's dumb shit for a long time. I'm never going to drink wine, never going to dance, never going to, that's for fancy guys, that's for, but definitely as I got older, it's just like, why is this some dumb thing I'm hanging my hat on? I am gaining nothing from this. Okay, this does not seem good. If you had to sell your dad on a single episode of The Simpsons, which one would you go with? Oh, man. What would it be? I like the Lemon Tree one. The Hellfish Treasure one's really good. King Size Homer's great. Lemon Tree's so good. Monorail. Yeah, the Conan one. Homer, actually, you know what? Homer Goes to College is very funny, and I really think a lot of the jokes there, if you give it a chance. Well, I remember being so thrilled that one time I was watching an episode, and he happened to be walking through the room and had to actually see a second of it, and he cracked up. It was the, hello, Mr. Burns, or my name is Mr. Burns. I believe you have a letter for me. And, okay, Mr. Burns, what's your first name? I don't know. Dad was in the room, and he started cracking up at that. He was like, see, Dad, it's funny. And he's like, bah. He just walked out. And oh, Homer at the bat. Oh, good point. Homer at the bat. Where the fuck is this lever? I tried to interact with the console over there. Sandmill. I need to do that jump I was trying? No shit. Doesn't seem great. At least the Vegetarian's great. At least the Vegetarian... Is that the one that has... Not George Harrison. Is Ringo in that one? So remember, Apu says he's the fifth Beatle. Oh, really? Slow-mo leak? That is not made clear. Awesome. Paul McCartney's in that one. Right. Harrison drives by the B-sharps, and it's like, oh, that's been done. Yeah. Fuck. All right. Yep. Okay. Saying it is 100% a dive leak. What? Decided to show up. Okay. This is great. Yeah, quick save on top here. Good idea. Awesome. God damn it. You want to know why? There's a billion reasons why I love streaming. But one of them is without streaming, I don't know if I'm loading this up and playing through this game, this hole in my gaming history, you know? But this is a great way where it's like, oh, you know, that'd be a fun thing. People seemed into that game. That could be a fun thing to chat with folks while I'm playing that. Like, it has given me such an inspiration to go back and fill in these holes in my gaming history or replay games I haven't played in forever. It's really doing a ton to kind of just fill in my gaming history, you know? It's excellent. And I guess I could say that for, like, basically every step of my career. Like, you know, if I wasn't reviewing for the paper throughout the entire, like, 360 era, would I have played that much of the 360 library? You know, like, I'm just very grateful that I've gotten to do this kind of for a living for a long time. And it's given me the added benefit of playing everything.
Has rows above it, in the core of the plan.
I think I handled that well. Talking Simpsons. Yeah, I've done that, 3 times now I've been on Talking Simpsons? Never seen American Dad, no. Yes. Oh yeah, I have a grenade launcher, right. Alright, so what did I accomplish there? Bob's Burgers, never seen it. Oh, man. Tickle Bits. That depends on timing, but I need to hear what you think of those movies. Really was extremely helpful. Where? Bob's Burgers, what I'll put on when I don't have anything else I want to watch and let it run through episodes. I'm really finding that I'm liking Seinfeld a lot. and I put it on when I'm like working out. It is Seinfeld's great for working out because you don't need to pay full attention to it. It's very easy to follow everything that's going on. And so, like, if I'm on the elliptical, I'm paying full attention. But if I'm lifting, it's like sometimes you're getting up and down from the bench and stuff like that, so you're not always looking at the screen. And you don't feel like you're missing anything. Seinfeld, you can totally follow. Do that with Twitch streams. Carson, I could totally see that. Yeah. That's probably what that's designed to do. Do it again. No. Do not operate crane when doors are closed. Oh, okay. What's an internet term I most hope my dad doesn't hear about? Honestly, I probably don't know most of them. I barely know poggers. I don't really know what the internet kids say. There's a lot of stuff I see on Twitter, and I'm just like, I don't know what that means, but I don't really care to find out. Yes, that's right.
Where is it?
Hell yeah. I was trying to reload that. Okay. Got it this time. Second reload. Schwa! Fuck yeah. I don't even know if that killed anyone, but that was cool. Serve that ammo. How long do you think it's going to be years-wise before every game is like some fucking MOBA league, like MMO something that I don't give a shit about, and I'm just doing retro games? How long? I mean, keep in mind, I started the Game Informer in 2009, and the first show I made was something called Replay, where I played old games. So even in 2009, I had the old guy sparking me here. How long until I'm only doing old games? That's kind of been my shtick for well over a decade now. Turns out I still really like new games. They're still really good new games. Carson! John Carson. Hello, sir. Oh. Are MOBAs still... Do the kids love the MOBAs still? Is that the thing? I hired someone recently that is young, like was just in college, and we were talking about games. He's really into games and stuff, and definitely felt very old talking to him on his first day. It's a lot of MOBAs, a lot of League, a lot of stuff. But there's like Overwatch and stuff, but like heavy esports stuff, which like the idea of esports was not a thing at all for my entire fucking. Oh, good, lava. It's like that thing in Volcano. I don't really care about esports. I just don't. Roblox. The kids love Roblox. Yeah.
Fuck you, dickhead.
What are we doing here? That's right, unwitting. We got some open positions at the Museum of the Gaming Arts. Am I losing health here? What are we? This doesn't seem safe. I shouldn't be doing this. Is that Drew Carey's brother in Volcano? Excellent. I know this is a hype train that's apparently fueled entirely by farts so far. Okay, sure. That's probably good. Lava. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's go fall into the lava, please. It's the fart train going on. Why didn't I shoot it from back here? Did I watch Whose Line? Yeah! God damn it. True Blue asked if I ever watched Whose Line. I saw some of the Drew Carey one, but honestly, again, because I'm old, the main one I watched was the British one on Comedy Central. Which, apologies if you've heard the story, but I broke my CRT as a child because I didn't like the fat guy on Whose Lines It Anyway. I didn't think he was funny, and so I had the Super Soaker that had the fucking backpack, and I hated him, and I hated it when it was his turn to do something. And so I took the Super Soaker and I sprayed my TV repeatedly when he was on, and I broke my childhood video gaming TV because I sprayed it with the Super Soaker because I didn't like the fat guy on Whose Line Is It Anyway. And then I had to explain to my mom. I don't know if I did. I was like, Mom, my TV's broken. No, Graham. Graham thought, I always thought the fat guy in that story was Drew Carey. No. There was like a big fat guy with a beard in the British version. And I just never thought he was funny as a small child. Get off my TV! I was a reasonable child. They're not stingy with the slow-mo juice. Every time I have needed it, I've had it. Good hard. Last time I had Oreos nacho cheese, honestly, a while. Years. I'm not confronted with Oreos often. I'm confronted with nacho cheese a lot, but Oreos not so much. And every time I have it, I'm confronted with them. The first time I discovered it was at Brian Vor's 30th birthday party, and his then wife did a party that was all cheese-based, and so I just stood by the cheese table the whole time, and I was just testing everything by dunking it in nacho cheese, and then I dunked the Oreo in, and it was delicious. And I ran around the party making everyone eat Oreos with nacho cheese. And then, it's popped up several other times, like a Giant Bomb and like the Big Live show after party and all that stuff. And it's always great. It's always great. Katie, no. The party was awesome. It was at his brother's house, right? I think his brother was there, but it was at Brian's house at the time. Graham, thank you so much for the reset. Dave, yeah. I think that was when he had all the different cue lights, and he had the different rooms turned to different colors to match the different Ninja Turtles. That might have been a different party than the cheese-themed one. Brian had some fun parties in this house. Someone pranked me into eating sour cream? No. Hell yeah, Spoon. That's what this chapter is. Yeah! First try. Graham says, haven't been back to the stream in a while. Are you playing all the Max Payne games or just one? It's not like officially said, but I'll say it now. I'm going to be playing 2, and I'm not going to wait a long time because I'm enjoying this a lot. Fuck. we'll see when I start. I'm not saying I'm starting next week, but I'd say I'd be starting before next month. Well, before next month means before February. I'd say it probably won't be that long. I'll just say that before I start Max Payne 2. Max Payne 3, it seems likely too. You know, while we're doing this, none of them are super duper long, you know. Midnight, thank you so much for that Prime subscription. I can try the new Hitman Challenge mode. I haven't thought about that, but I did VR if you want to check that out on the YouTube.
The mythic detective, Bogart as Marlowe, or as Sam Spade going after the Maltese Falcon to unravel all the mysteries. Following a path of clues to that final revelation.
3 is longer,
even if it
I remember.
would take me down to the cold, cavernous depths of a grave.
You can't do this! My men are still inside!
Do you have any idea why this is called Operation Deadeyes?
Good choice.
Thank you, please. All right, he's dead. Okay.
Let's do it.
Shot him like 30
Attention all
times.
personnel. The self-destruction sequence has been initiated.
Good face.
Evacuate the complex
We've got
immediately.
company.
Repeat. The self-destruction sequence has been initiated. Proceed.
I don't have much help. No painkillers. No problem.
I had seen the logo on the floor before.
An umbrella?
There was an old army bunker under the steel mill. I knew the military plaque on the floor. I had seen 1,000 variations of the insignia on crumbling brick walls everywhere in the city. The sword replaced by a syringe.
Umbrella.
Project Valhalla. V for Valkyr. V for Valhalla. All of a sudden it read like a crackpot conspiracy theory.
Let's see him play Wordle. 5 letters. 1 yellow, 1 green. Infinite combinations. Personal hell. It's a timely joke for you folks out there.
Abort! Abort! The self-destruction sequence has been initiated!
Attention all personnel. Evacuate the complex immediately. Repeat.
You Wordle on Twitter. Yeah, look. It's a weird thing because it's very obnoxious seeing everyone just tweet a bunch of green and yellow squares. But at the same time, that is how I discovered what Wordle was. And I think a lot of other people were just like, what the fuck is this thing everyone's tweeting? So it's like, it's incredibly effective, obviously. So I can't really fault, certainly not the maker of Wordle, for doing that, because it fucking worked.
I'd seen the logo.
But it is a lot. Like, I just feel I don't get anything out of it. I don't look at like, yes, okay, on the 4th one you did this, and you see it a lot. Wordle kicks ass. I fucking love Wordle. Blanc and I do it every single day. So I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just the kids need to cool it with the Twitter. How about that? As I get older, I'm just going to be yelling about the kids more. I just hope you're all prepared for that as we continue on with this channel.
Abort! Abort! The self-destruction sequence has been initiated! Get the hell out of here! The place is gonna blow!
Yeah, there is like great logic to Wordle. Where?
Good choice.
Yeah, it's a great daily ritual. Except, I couldn't log into my goddamn Slack because it said something about allowing cookies, and I was trying to get it to work, and so I had to delete all my cookies and all that shit, and it erased all my, like, record of Wordle. And so my whole, like, 19-day streak or whatever went away. And I still have it, but I can't look at it and see all the bars of here's how many times I got 3, 4, 5, whatever. Is this the Joker juice? painkillers.
Go, go, go!
Yes. Unknown says, I know it's not in English, but are you going to take the plunge on Seaman 2? Very sadly, I will say here that I am not planning on doing Seaman 2. If it was in English or had any way to play it in English at all, holy hell, I'd be playing it right now. But, unfortunately, so much of that game, and what I love about it, is having those, like, talks and hearing it say these things and stuff like that. And, like, without that, even if it was, like, subtitled fan translation, which I don't think happened, just... I'm not going to do Seaman 2, but it looks wild. I wish I could so bad. Because honestly, Seaman 1 was legit maybe a top 5 recurring stream like feature I've ever done on this. Like, that was killer. I was so on that ride with you guys every step of the way, and God, it was so much fun. A live translator? That would be... Look, okay, how about this? If I ever get fuck you money, I will hire a live Seaman translator and play through Seaman 2.
Online, his password blinking on the screen. 665. Neighbor of the beast.
Neighbor of the beast. Shut up. I mean, I convinced someone to Guinness World Records to fly someone into Minnesota to watch me play Smash Brothers for 30 hours. Maybe I can convince a translator to watch Seaman for like a month. They'd have to, like, live here for a month. A live-in translator for Seaman 2? Actually, yeah, if I have fuck you money, that's exactly the type of shit I'd be doing.
Has been initiated. Proceed to the nearest exit
I
immediately.
would 100% be doing that. So everyone just starts sending me lottery tickets, and if I win, I'll have a translator live with me. Oh. God, that'd be incredible. Ed Boon just tweeted, PsyOps deserves a reboot. Sorry, I've never had to stop the stream to retweet something. Hang on. Ed Boon's... Wait, do I not follow Ed Boon? He's one of my favorite creators ever. Just followed him. Do this, Ed. Okay. Yes. Man, PsyOps kicks ass. I have heard of that, Captain. Freshly picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land. That is a DS Tingle game, correct? Bill Trinan Big Goal. Bill Trinan. I know Bill Trinan. I could reach out to Bill Trinan. I should ask Bill Trinan to do that. I think while he's at Nintendo, I don't think that's going to be happening. But no, I've always enjoyed working with Bill Trinan. It's been a long time. I haven't worked with him since the Game Informer days. I don't think I ever did anything at Giant Bomb with him, but whenever I did Nintendo coverage from Seattle or whenever I interviewed Miyamoto and stuff like that, Trinan was always the translator. It's a Lava Factory jail now? What is this fucking place?
Attention all
I know John Riccardi or Mark McDonald. Dude, yes to both. And Mark McDonald and I, good friends, and we went to the same college. Mark McDonald, I haven't seen him in forever. But yes, I consider Mark McDonald a friend for sure. Man. That'd be weird schedule-wise. I love Mark. John, too. I just don't know John as well. But, yeah, like when I went to Japan, like Mark would take me out to different, like, because he lives there, and he'd show me the different places and kind of teach me about the stuff he had to learn about the language and the 3 different, like, different ways you have to read the language and stuff like that. And, oh, he was great. He's the reason I have a Ribera jacket. What's going on here? Yeah, Mark McDonald went to KU.
I thought I was gonna die in there for sure.
I need you to get me through the decontamination chamber.
Love that guy.
airlock.
You're crazy. No
One of
way.
like true
The place is
great
blowing up
dudes in the
place.
industry.
Either that or back to the cell.
Dr.
Your
Doak?
choice.
Okay, I'll do it.
Attention all personnel. The self-destruction sequence has been initiated. Proceed to
Warner
the nearest
owns
exit
PSYOPs, huh?
immediately.
Thank you, Spoon. I have to get that C-Man PS2 controller, C-Man 2 PS2 controller has the microphone built in, right?
Please, we gotta go now. There's no time.
Second sight, I gotta try that. Vinny, you brought that up a couple times.
What's the holdup? Can't you see the...
Hey Siri, remind me to check out Second Sight for stream.
Are you mad, Mo?
Hey, should I do a big goal for that C-Man controller for PS2 and C-Man 2? Could I play it on a US PS2?
Are you mad, Mo?
I feel like I should have the controller, even if I can't play with it.
Attention all personnel. The self-destruction sequence
Are you
has been
mad?
initiated.
Move it. I don't wanna
Proceed
die
to the
here.
nearest exit immediately.
We're dead. We're dead.
Is this a fucking escort mission?
That'd be a mistake I'd never be able to fix.
We're dead. We're dead.
Okay. Can I check and see if there's... I'd like to get painkillers. Quit running, you're gonna die.
Get in. I'll punch you through.
After this, you can go. You're a free man.
Decontamination in progress. The self-destruction sequence has been initiated. Proceed to the nearest exit. Decontamination.
The limited edition controller is only $70 for the controller. What? Is that fine? Can you die now? Is that fine? Are you fine with you dying? Not fine with me dying. I guess we're fine with him dying. Okay. Wouldn't there be painkillers in this hospital, jail, lava factory? Whatever, video games. What is Bishy Bashy?
Caught in the middle
I
of the
feel like
dizzy
I've
red
heard
that was the
people
doppelganger case.
recommend that to me numerous times, but I have no idea what it is. I have a note on my phone saying, see what Bishy Bashy is, but I have no idea. God damn it. Bishy Bashy is versus WarioWare? Does it have to be versus? Oh my god. Okay, another person. Sucks. Reminds me of Metal Gear 2. solid too.
One of the lab terminals.
Top secret. Project Valhalla. U.S. Army. Yggdrasil Network. Valhalla. The otherworldly place in Norse mythology where the bravest heroes spend their afterlife feasting and fighting forever. Their wounds miraculously healed night after night. Valkyr. The maidens who chose the most courageous Viking warriors and carried
I beat
them to
all those Valkyries in God of War. That was hard as fuck.
The research objective
Awesome.
is to create a chemical substance to enhance the stamina and morale of infantry troops. 1995. Results unsatisfactory. Project cancelled.
Someone had decided to continue the sick experiment unauthorized.
Project compromised. Data leak. Fix the damage by any means necessary. Security clearance red. Authorized by the project lead. Field test. Double the dosage for all the remaining test subjects. Observe and record the subject's behavior in an urban setting.
The drop-off point was my old address in New Jersey. The file dated 3
Why are you
years
putting your
ago.
hand on the monitor?
Just when you thought you had reached the deepest depths of horror, it suddenly got worse. How to turn off that small voice inside your head that started to whisper that you should be glad that now, if not before, your revenge was justifiable on any conceivable moral scale. That small voice proved, beyond any doubt, that I was damned. The dagger-heeled woman had come and gone a long time ago. There was nothing more for me.
So what's the deal with the drug?
The bunker's name was acting as a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh, it's evil? Okay.
Decontamination.
They tested it on the guys who killed Max's family. Oh, so it's the government.
28, 27,
What the fuck is happening?
25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19.
Last board game I've played? Bonk and I got this game Wavelength that Ben Hansen introduced us to. It's really fun. I don't know if it's technically a board game.
10, 9, 8, 7,
It's fun though.
6, 5,
Am I gonna blow up or catch on fire?
2, 1, commence.
Even a death animation? Oh, so it's a military super soldier thing.
Decontamination. Self-destruction imminent. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14.
Why is any of this happening?
13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, commence.
We're cool. What? If I made a game, though, it would have a lot of moments like that. So Can't fault him too much. Just things that there's no way you could conceivably know or see coming, but it was just a giant fuck you.
Self-destruction imminent. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 10, 6, 5, 4.
Hell yeah. Cool guy.
We pieced together a jigsaw, and the final picture is you finishing that same puzzle.
Shitty jigsaw.
A mad, green-eyed killer standing behind you. An urban
Actually,
legend come
sounds kind of
true.
cool.
The Project Valhalla test
But you'd see it
subjects
coming
had
for like a
been
long
junkies who
time
murdered
before. It'd be
my
on the
loved
box.
ones. The rest was simple body count math. It all pointed to her. Ms. Valkyr. The fact
They
that
named the
I
drug
fiery
after a person?
inferno behind me. All my leads were dead, turned to smoke and dust. I'd lost my way. I hadn't slept in a million years.
He's exaggerating.
I felt thin as death. I've been living on an endless supply of week-old donuts. They were fuel for this crazy furnace inside my head. I couldn't remember when I had last seen the sun. I was on a permanent graveyard shift. When the darkness fell, New York City became something else. Any old Sinatra song notwithstanding. Bad things happened in the night, on the streets of that other city, Noir York
I
City.
remember being in a room with Gilbert Gottfried while we got him to read lines from this game
I was in an
before I
all-night
played this
diner,
game.
downing cup after cup of coffee that tasted like engine oil, when a new message from BB got me back on the killer track.
What the hell happened at Roscoe Street? Maxie, I'm going out on a limb here. We need to talk this through, come up with a plan. 2:30 a.m., the Choir Communications Garage.
The more I thought about Alex's murder and the frame-up, the more it felt like an inside job. I should have seen it coming. BB had sold me out, and now he wanted to finish what he'd started. The garage was dead.
Look
BB
at that
showed
face.
up in his tailor-made suit, gold watch, and cufflinks to match, all way beyond a cop's pay.
Like a Thumb Wars character.
Losing suave charm. He was guilty as hell. What the hell does BB stand for anyway? Backstabbing bastard?
Come on, don't be like that. Have a cigar.
I don't smoke.
Maxie, you have no idea how big this is. It's huge. You have no idea.
Oh, you shot my partner.
I think I do. You're a bribe-taking bent cop who sold out his partner. Those mobsters in the subway were a dead giveaway. Hard to miss. Bet it was exactly like this with Alex.
Love how every
Close
gruff,
and
powerful
personal.
villain in this looks like 29 years old. Yeah, yep, okay. That reminds me of being in film school with a bunch of fucking 18-year-olds that thought they were
BB turned out to be
Tarantino.
another
And all these like
cardboard cutout
Yakuza
bad
bosses
guy.
were like fucking 18-year-olds. Including my dumbass movies, you know. All I knew were 18-year-olds. Car chase?
A bad cop on the take. A cowardly right-hand man fleeing from the scene, leaving his paid thugs to do his dirty work.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Yeah, big open levels of shooting. Let's fucking do it. Need some painkillers. Let's fucking party here. Is there a painkiller? Wait, no, it's a payphone. That makes more sense. Piston says there's a secret area on one of the rooftops I can jump my way up to up here. Let's see. A lot of rooftops. painkillers in quite a while in this game. Seems suspect. I'm on the roof. Shoot one of the shack walls. Oh. Oh. My goodness. Thanks, Rockstar? Did Rockstar play any role in the first one?
Hello to everyone at Remedy. This is Jamie and Renault. Hello. Hey, how you doing? And this is hopefully the last session we've done for you, or we're going to do for you. It's been a pleasure working on this game. We hope you like the audio. Good luck with bringing it home. And we're with you on it all the way. And again, thank you very much. And the game rocks.
Thank you very much. And it was a pleasure meeting you guys at E3. And we hope that this is everything you need. And we're there for you. And we can't wait to see it come out.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
No.
Friend ladies, are you Trebek? I'll take famous titties for 200. Okay, and take it easy.
That is a really earnest, cool human Easter egg there. You know what that's the polar opposite of? It Takes Two. A game that's ostensibly this family game, this cutesy family game, that the Easter egg is, oh, hey, if you do this thing and you point this thing at the sky, why don't we hear the time our developer said fuck on the Game Awards? Wasn't that fucking cool when he said fuck on the Game Awards? The indulgent bullshit. Versus what a nice little heartfelt, unscripted sounding. It sounded like they were just off the cuff. Just, hey, thank you so much. Really liked working with you. This is how you do that. This is how you fucking do that. Don't fucking... just give an ego trip for the fucking game director for the time he said fuck. Like, do it. Yeah, man. Sorry, that part. Both Bonk and I looked at each other like, what a fucking ego! Are you kidding me? All right. Where am I going? I don't remember which way I came in. Creator, hello, sir. Head back towards the place I jumped up and go, oh, right. I do like Mr. Ego Hideo Kojima. Yeah, look, there's no denying Kojima's got an ego. Just feel it's maybe a little more deserved. You know, he's made genre-defining, experiences and pushing the medium forward for several decades now versus made a pretty good game where you control two characters, then we made a bad game with two characters, and then we made a pretty good game that gets very obnoxious and overstays its welcome with two characters. Just saying, out of the two guys, the one that I think the ego's a little more justified, I know which camp I'm in there. I didn't have full health. I haven't had full health in a while. Painkillers. Painkillers in boxes? heard a bunch of cars just now. I had to pause. Let's see if it was outside or here. I think something about Connecticut. I think there's a street racing scene. There are very, very loud cars. First level of Die Hard trilogy. Noticed that ever since you became a homeowner too, Labamba. Yeah, I suddenly understand every old guy thing when I was a kid. It's like, these goddamn kids acting like it's a racetrack out there. Oh, shit, yeah. Yep, okay, says, oh, shit, speaking of Die Hard, anyone ever played the PS1 Die Hard light gun game? I love that shit so much, so violent. Yes, that was the Die Hard 2 Die Harder section of Die Hard Trilogy. Die Hard 1. Listen, let me talk to you about Die Hard Trilogy. I know I've played it briefly on stream during some bounce around at some point, but it was amazing. It was 3 fucking games. The first one is, there's like 60 levels in Nakatomi Plaza, going around third-person Bruce Willis tank top, shooting stuff, blowing up cars, all that stuff. It's great. Second one, fucking light gun shooter taking place in the airport from Die Hard 2, and you can play with a light gun. So on the one disc, I need to buy. Hey Siri, remind me, buy Die Hard trilogy, not Greatest Hits edition. Okay, so the second one is a fucking light gun game in the middle of this isn't a compilation game. These are 3 new games based on 3 different movies. First one, third-person shooter. Second one, light gun game. You can play with a controller if you want to. Third one, somehow the most violent game of all time is the Die Hard with a Vengeance one where you're driving a taxi around. Because you go into first person and you drive on the fucking sidewalk and every single person on the sidewalk just turns into fucking goo on your windshield and it's just like the grossest fucking thing. And then there's like, you can unlock a UFO in it and if a timer goes off, a nuke goes off in New York City, that game is fucking bonkers. I love Die Hard Trilogy. It is a weird fucking game. I should do a whole stream some night dedicated to Die Hard Trilogy. It's fucking sweet. If I happen to finish this at a reasonable hour tonight and I just want to fuck around for a second, just tell me to load up Die Hard Trilogy. Good. I never played the second one. Viva Las Vegas. Oh, somebody says way before GTA 3 was running over pedestrians. Makes GTA 3 look like fucking, what's the modern reference? Peppa Pig? Paw Patrol? These are modern references, right? There's like a fucking Bruce Willis sound-alike that doesn't really sound like Bruce Willis, but enough. It's like a, Party City Bruce Willis. It's oh man, I played way. You know what? All the time on all these fucking podcasts I do, there's always a question where it's like, what's a game that's not that great but you love and hold a soft spot for? And like I feel like I've gotten that question 1,000 different times and I've probably given 1,000 different answers, and I don't think I've ever answered Die Hard Trilogy, and that's the answer to that. Because no one is like, you'll never see that on a top 200, 300 games of all time list. Never. I don't even think it reviewed that well. I'd have to see what the review crew said. I don't know if I have that AGM. But I don't think it reviewed that high. But I was just a huge fucking mark for Die Hard. And I was like, yeah, I want the game with 3 Die Hard movies in it. And I played the shit out of Die Hard Trilogy. Was it on my top 100? I don't even know if it was on my top 100. It probably should have been. Somebody check my top 100. Let me know if it was. If not, I need to fix that. Shitty third-person game where he plays Bruce Willis, Apocalypse on PS1. Give it a top 100 right now. Where is it? 82. So tell me, what's 82 on my top 100? And you can just take that off and put Die Hard Trilogy in. I think if you just Google Dan Ryckert top 100, it'll tell you. Favorite bad first-person game where you play as a non-human? first-person game. Bad first-person game where you play as a non-human. Turok's a human. Oh, Wikipedia says it got an 8.75 average from EGM. Well, I was going to say Brute Force Crater, but that's third person. Halo 2. Good answer, good answer, good answer. Oh, shit. Hitman 2016, I guess, is replaced with Die Hard Trilogy. I had a good run. If I wind up loading up Die Hard Trilogy tonight, I want you to look at what this looks like right now. Look at what I'm doing right now. And you tell me I'm wrong, that the first level of Die Hard Trilogy isn't just this, but looks a lot worse. And everyone act really impressed that I made that connection, okay? Because it looks like this. To rescue hostages. Nah, Vertebreaker wasn't full on like loaded or Smash TV. It was a little backing up a little bit, but it was kind of like this, just backing up, you know. That's just the GMC logo. I don't think you can do that. Think we'll ever see another Max Payne game? In time, I could see it. I don't know if Rockstar owns it now. They don't seem too hot to trot on making a bunch of games. Microsoft bought GMC. Yeah, GMC is on Game Pass now. So if you want a GMC car, it's on Game Pass. What's the next step? We're going to buy milk. Milk is on Game Pass. Like Listerine pocket packs are on Game Pass. You know what? Bonk introduced me to this shit this week. Kind of blew my mind. You know, every once in a while there's like a technological leap forward where it's like, oh, never thought about how like now we can put dips in this instead of everything having to be in a squeezy packet or whatever. You know, there's like occasionally like, this changes everything. This is so much better now. Mints. You know, I like mints. You got a couple options when you want to freshen your breath. You got like an Altoid. I feel like that was the thing in the late 90s, early 2000s. You have an Altoid or Banaka. Remember that? But then there's also like the bigger, like, okay, so if that's like the low tier, like the just pop a mint in, and then the high tier is like, I'm going to go brush my teeth and do a full thing or do Listerine. And that's, you know, like I got to be home and do a whole deal and I got to be around a sink station and all that. And Listerine strips, that was one. That was kind of a newer one. So these new things, I don't even know what the fuck they're called, but I just bought 24 of them because Bonk showed it to me like, look at this shit. And I tried it and I was like, holy shit, and I immediately bought it. It was, does anyone know what I'm talking about? These things you chew. It's like a mint. It's like a square mint thing. Like imagine like kind of like a big chiclet type thing, but it's hard. And it's Listerine makes it. And you take it and you, okay, True Blue has them. You put it in your mouth and you chew it like a mint. But, oh yes, Bonk's here. Listerine Ready Tabs. Bonk is in the chat. It's Listerine Ready Tabs. You chew it like a mint, and it tastes good like a mint, but you chew it for 10 seconds. The packaging tells you what to do. You chew it for 10 seconds, and it turns into a liquid. So it's like Listerine liquid, but it's very portable. It's like on the go, like gum. And then you swish it for like 20 or 30 seconds, and you swish it around like you would Listerine. But here's the kicker. You can swallow it, and it's just like yeah, exactly, Killer Kid. It's portable mouthwash. So basically, you get to chew a mint, use mouthwash, and then drink it, and your whole fucking mouth feels minty fresh. It's fucking amazing. Listerine, if you want to do a sponsored stream, I'm your guy. I'm all game for that shit. It's really goddamn good. It's yeah. Black Rain says it's fucking crazy. You guys know? Yes. Abs okay. These people get it. Dan, it's amazing how much you sold me on this product in like 20 seconds. I'm not kidding. It's Listerine Ready tabs. I bought some on Amazon. It's fucking awesome. I don't like, see, I was never all in on the strips. They were weird and gummy and stuff like this. This is like, I'm getting 3 enjoyable experiences and a fresh mouth. I'm chewing a mint, I'm swishing minty stuff around my mouth, and I'm swallowing a yummy minty thing, and then my mouth feels good. It's awesome. I fucking love that. So I seriously, I had one of them, and I told Bonk, I was like, this changes everything. This is incredible. Listerine Ready tabs. Back to Max Payne. And report back in the Discord or in the chat. I want to know, because, like, I was blown away. What are we doing here? Sam, how are we doing? Oh, hi. Yes! That was fucking awesome. Bonk, what you up to? You playing anything out there? Hydrogen peroxide and mouthwash? I never know the difference between hydrogen peroxide and rubbing alcohol. I'm always confused. Especially now that I have to use one of them all the time to clean game stuff. Like, fuck! Thanks, Black Rain. Bonk says she's drinking tea and watching me. Oh, that's very nice, Bonk. Hydrogen peroxide is the brown bottle? Okay, so rubbing alcohol is the clear one. So which one do you use for old games? And which one's for, like, making you vomit? Clear one is for games. Okay. Hydrogen peroxide is for vomiting. Clear. How can I remember that? I need some brain trick. Clear. Use the clear. Your games are in the clear. That's not clever. Alcohol does not go on N64 labels. Yeah, I've learned about labels. Don't put stuff on labels. Alcohol smells extremely potent. Is hydrogen peroxide? Hydrogen peroxide is not good for wounds. It causes scarring. It's hydrogen peroxide and neosporin. Those are different things. Oh, no! Ass over tea kettle. Hydrogen peroxide does not smell. Okay. Oh, God damn it. Fuck! Really use some fucking painkillers. Is that painkillers in a parking garage? Yes. Is this game hard? Christian, I have heard it's really hard. I'm playing on the default, which I think was easy. I've heard it's quite hard at higher difficulties, especially if you're not playing with a keyboard and mouse, which me playing on an Xbox, I'm not. Killer Kid says just ordered some of those Listerine tabs. Fuck, I should get some affiliate link. I fucking seriously. I'm not kidding about that shit.
Reports of a fire at the Punchinello Manor in Westchester. The manor is the home of Angelo Punchinello, the alleged head of the Punchinello.
Tweet at Listerine.
The police are now saying,
Tell him I sent you.
to their earlier statements, that Max Payne is still alive and at large. He continues his vendetta against the Mafia, of which this last act of arson is attributed to.
I had no recollection of setting any fires, but I did remember the flames.
What does that mean? Vinny, no. I never heard from Wood again. I got Wood's money. True Blue says, I tried a Listerine Ready tab, and while my mouth feels refreshed, it does feel like I swallowed some toothpaste. But the thing is, maybe toothpaste isn't bad to swallow, but you're just not supposed to. But this is like if you were allowed to swallow toothpaste, and it was good. See, I should go into marketing. Hope no one is buying the inflated priced ones. I bought like a 24-pack for like $5.90 or something like that. A lot of parking garage stuff here. Van has bad guys in it, right? Everyone tweet the controller rating to Listerine. Yeah, let's confuse the hell out of them. That'll show them. Listerine. Making that good product. What this looks like. You're all going to be amazed when I show you Die Hard Trilogy. Again, I want the chat to fucking explode when you see Die Hard Trilogy and how right I am about it. Just like the craziest fucking thing you've ever seen on Twitch. Fuck! See you, Spoon! Always good to see you. That's right, Piston. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Piston. Piston's been responsible for turning me on to a couple different cool things like Pointy's Point and the Mario e-reader levels and stuff like that recently. Been a great resource for things that are up my alley that I was not familiar with before. So thanks to Piston. Shit. No, stop bunting. You're thinking of Die Hard Arcade for the Saturn. Also, Dynamite Deca, Dynamite Cop. That's different than Die Hard Trilogy. Also incredible. I don't know anything about Die Hard Trilogy 2, Viva Las Vegas. I think it probably didn't review as well, and it also wasn't directly based on the movies, so that's probably why I never got it. I do not have a PS1 light gun if I were to get Die Hard Arcade. I think I had a Namco GunCon Oh, I never played Point Blank. I always wanted to. Those were supposed to be incredible, weird light gun games for PS1. I was always jealous. Oh, man. I should get Point Blank. Hey, Siri, remind me, look into Namco, GunCon, and Point Blank. Did I ever play Black? Yes, I have it on this Xbox, and I played it on stream briefly. Oh, I should... Point Blank sounds like a great stream game. Especially since I've never played it. Siri is not going to hear any of those things right, and I'm going to be so confused tomorrow when I wake up. That should be like a next bit goal thing. So I'll do... Well, fuck, I have not actually plugged in a legit... I mean, I have, is what I meant to say. Original PlayStation. And streamed it. So I would have to make sure... I think I just have the one PS1 here. I have to make sure that works. Sleepy, yeah. So that's why I bought a CRT. So I've got a CRT so I can use... I've been doing Dreamcast fucking light gun games. I still want to do Confidential Mission very soon. And I've done some House of the Dead. Yeah, light guns work with CRTs. They do not work with HD TVs. Okay, I have a Japanese version of Point Blank and Namco Gun for over a year and haven't played it. My PlayStation wasn't modded. I've been surprised how fun House of the Dead still is, even though it's like, I know it's old, but I don't know, the graphics still look cool, I think, and like a light gun, it's still fun to point a gun at the screen and shoot stuff, you know? Oh, nice, Tanuki. You know, Piston, I've thought about that many times. Specifically what you're describing, Piston. I didn't know if that would be boring, though, for folks. Dan, do we have the gray GunCon or black one? I don't have any GunCon. That's why I just made a note to myself that I need to get a GunCon and Point Blank. I need to do some PS1 light gun games. GunCon 2, it's backwards compatible. Oh shit, and all PS2s are. I've got 2 PS2s here. So I can get the GunCon 2. I can get the GunCon 2 for the PS2. And that'll work. Oh, that's a much smarter way to do that rather than a PS1. Okay. Hey Siri, remind me, get the GunCon 2 for PS2 because it's backwards compatible and you don't have to actually fuck with the first PlayStation, although you should still get that PS1 redesign, ideally with the tiny flip-up screen. That thing was cool. A very dumb memory of when I wrote the Saints Row the Third cover story for Game Informer. We drove down to Champaign, Illinois, and so there's 4 of us in the car. It was me, Jeff Cork, Ben Hansen, and someone else we worked with that was in a band, and the entire drive down to Illinois, they were playing their own band CD on repeat in the car for us to listen to. And so Jeff Cork and I brought a GameCube in the back seat. Neither one of us had ever beaten Zelda 2. And so we had like a split headphone thing. We sat in the back and just cranked it up and played through Zelda 2 on the Zelda Collector's Edition disc for GameCube, on an actual GameCube with a flip-up GameCube screen, while Ben Hansen had to sit up front and make a conversation with our coworker about his band and that music playing on repeat. Me and Cork were having a great time, even though we were playing Zelda 2. Jackhammer? I have to use the spear first, right? What? Oh. It's an auto shotgun? Did you get to partake in the great bar scene in Champaign back then? We did go to a bar at some point. Was it on REO Speedwagon Boulevard? I remember being there.
Come out wherever you are.
Playing Chronicles of Riddick on the original Xbox in a car via the power inverter. Amazing.
Refuse to do the smart thing.
Riddick on a fucking flip-up screen.
I must do the right thing.
Is this my dad doing his mocking voice? I need to do the right thing. I need to be a good guy.
I blame you. You're a smart guy, you really
Good guy.
I blame you. You're a smart guy, you really
Great. What's my opinion on hibachi restaurants? Fuck yeah. I'll catch all that shrimp in my mouth. Fuck! Yeah, that shit's fun as hell. They do the fucking volcano with the onions. I don't even like onions, but that thing's cool as shit. Those guys are so goddamn talented. I haven't been to one in forever. We used to go all the time whenever it was like my birthday or one of my sister's birthdays in Kansas, and man, that shit was awesome. I always feel strongly about tipping waiters and waitresses. Shit. But goddamn hibachi folks. Yeah, tip them real well. Hibachi rice, yeah, kicks ass. I spray all the fucking soy sauce all over it. Shit's great. Yes, K-Schlink, that joke. Ever seen an egg roll? Fucking kills every fucking time. It's the most just surefire joke in comedy history. And sometimes they'll do the thing where they flip it up into their hat. That's always fun. God damn it, I didn't realize how much I missed hibachi places. Hey Siri, see if they have hibachi places in Connecticut. Remind me. I'm not asking you, Siri. I'm telling you to remind me. Shit, it's gonna fuck up. It's just as a reminder. I'm not asking you, Siri. I'm telling you. I'm gonna wake up, folks. This is my life. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to have 40 new reminders on my phone that I check all the time. I live and die based off these reminders. And one of them just says, I'm not asking you, Siri. I'm telling you. That's the only part that it's saved. It's going to confuse the shit out of me. Okay, we're going to do it this time. Ready?
Wherever you are. You know, I really hate people who refuse to see the inevitable. Refuse to do the smart thing.
Yes! barrel. Yabo says, are you playing this on Xbox Series X? Are there any enhancements? Yeah, I believe it is like 4K 60, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Payne.
Whatever does it for you.
This is Alfred Wood.
Just say yes.
I can give you the name of your enemy. Come to the Asgard building presently. We are expecting you.
Woden was
I
waiting
miss
for me on the
payphones.
steps at the old building.
Mr. Payne, let's go inside. The others are anxious to begin.
The others?
Despite the general misconception, this building actually predates the City Hall by 2 years, thus being the oldest municipal building still in use here at the foot of the Brooklyn Bridge.
No kidding. The old man played tour guide as he led me through a dark domed hall. The answers I was after loomed large ahead.
Mr. Payne, I would like to introduce you to my colleagues in what we call the Inner Circle.
You've been watching too much X-Files.
You have seen the files on Project Valhalla. We can fill the gaps, provide you with the information missing from those files. We were all involved in the early stages of the project during the Gulf War.
What's the catch?
We would very much like to blow this thing wide open, but our hands are tied. Her name is Nicole Horn. She was the key figure in Project Valhalla. When the funding was discontinued, she simply refused to quit. She knew exactly what she had in her hands. Nicole Horn is the president of Acer Corporation. She has more than half the city in her pocket. This must be kept under wraps. If you try to go public with this, we will deny any knowledge.
Who on the staff got their mom to pose for
to
this?
take her out. Afterwards, we can protect you. Make all the charges go away.
That was the cue for the killer suits to kick in the doors and swarm inside.
Jesus.
It was an impressive floor show, but I decided to leave early anyway.
It was Sam Lake's mom.
It was only a one-story fall. Lucky me.
Hell yeah. Early 2000s. So several people asking if I actually miss payphones. Not really. In fact, I was trying to think of my defining payphone memories. And honestly, the first one that comes to mind is when I would go to the pool when I was 12. And I wouldn't put money in because it was too cheap. I wouldn't pay for this, of course not. But you could call a 1-900 number from a payphone. And it would you'd get to hear a little bit before it asked for your credit card. And so I would call up. I would try different combinations of letters that seemed like sex things. And so I called, I was a 12-year-old boy, you know. I would call 1-900 wet sex with 2 X's. And, before it asked for your credit card number, you'd get at least 30 seconds of a sultry lady voice being like, hey there, you feeling all raunchy or whatever they said? And he'd be all excited for a second, and they'd ask for a credit card, and he'd be like, God damn it. So yeah, they should bring payphones back. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Only 2 for the jackhammer. Jesus Christ. Dan tried to discern nipples for single frames on the scramble channels. Yes. Yes. I was alive in the 90s and a teenager. Yes, I spent hundreds of hours scouring fucking TV guides for the N for nudity after the R rating at 2 o'clock on Cinemax for Bikini Bistro or Bikini Car Wash or whatever, and then you just fucking sit there and you just wait for the scramble to fucking... It's like, yep, something's going on there. And then you have Comedy Central on the last channel button, and so you have it on mute, and so the second it sounds like your mom might be coming up, you just last channel, you were watching fucking Comedy Central Premium Blend. That's it. Yeah, I like the chat. You understand. You understand, chat. You completely understand. Don't act like you don't. Red Shoe Diaries, yeah. Emmanuel on Cinemax, absolutely. Yeah. You get it. You all fucking get it. Some of you fucking kids growing up with the internet, you don't get it, but fucking us mid-30 and up, we fucking get it. Shit! Even had a fucking painkiller. Fucking shit. That was the tough thing as a kid, because, like, the not real, like, not clear boob stuff, you had to watch their scrambled stuff, all clandestine and stuff like that in your room. But then when you knew there were actual boobs coming up in a movie, you'd be watching with your parents and you got to pretend to take a shit for 20 minutes. So it's just not a great situation either way. It's a hard time being a teenager in the 90s, I'm saying. One of my favorite fire escape things is Mary thinking it was some weird Dan thing when I talked about woods porn, and then she tweeted about it from the fire escape account, and just like tons of people being like, oh yeah, woods porn, that's a real thing. And we're being like, fucking what? I remember before we recorded the next episode, she's like, Dan, I've got a lot of people tweeting me about woods porn. I was like, yeah, fucking see? I know what I was talking about. She had no idea. We're in a church now? What is this fucking building? Oh.
One of the monitors showed what was left of the inner circle.
Cover me. I'm going in.
Just give me these. Jesus.
On screen, the so-called corpse of Alfred Woden stood up, miraculously waking from his dirt nap, looking smug among his dead pals. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. I didn't know how he'd pulled it off, but it was a pretty slick way to get out of all his promises. Most of what he had said fit too well to be a load of
Why is he
crap.
pointing his pistol at the screen? Did you see that? He was literally... I don't think that's how TVs work. Oh, you're not going to be able to see it. He was definitely pointing his pistol at the screen. Did you see that? Dirty Erty? Is that it's dirty work, right? Yeah. Weird that there's not like a dedicated mode. Although I do remember, I mean, back in the day, it's easy to forget that like a lot of FPS, GoldenEye even, you had to like cycle to a melee or a grenade. That's what, man, Halo fucking... I really told myself I hated Halo for like years because I couldn't afford an Xbox. But when you think about it, fucking FPS on PlayStation 64 and stuff, you would have to cycle through your weapons to get to a melee. Cycle through your weapons to get to a grenade. And then Halo comes out and it's like, hey, how about this? Here's a melee button. Here's a grenade button. It's like, oh fuck. I remember like, it's like I'd only play it at the kiosk at the Funkoland I worked at, or if I was at a friend's or something. And I remember playing it at that kiosk and just being like, oh fuck, this is really good. This is really smart. Why didn't anyone think to put it on a button? Painkillers. Infinite is very fun. I kind of fell off of the multiplayer grind a little bit when I got really into Nobody Saves the World, and I got another embargoed game I'm working on, so I don't know if I'm going to get back into it. But yeah, Halo's real good. I think that's my go-to if I just want to play a quick round or two of multiplayer. That's my go-to right now. Max Payne 2 has a dedicated grenade button? Nice. Please summarize the story of Infinite. All right. Master Chief was on a ship and he killed the Prometheans, and Cortana's evil and dead, but not really on either. And then he lands on a planet, and a big gorilla alien hologram is mad at him because he somehow screwed up his family or army, and then he just fucking talks to him through a hologram for the entirety of the game, and then rebuilds a training ground, and then you just fight a bunch of fucking like dudes with hammers, and then the game's over. That's the story of Halo Infinite. It sucks. It's a bad story. But I've also never, ever liked the story of Halo, so it's not like I was let down by any means. Yeah. Mongo says grapple hooks are cool, the Halo story. Yep. Tell the story of Halo 1. The Pillar of Autumn. There's a ship and it's crashing. And you're a army man with a blue computer lady in your head. And you have to find a silent cartographer. And in the second one, there's an old ET guy in a chair. And you're another guy. That's like a big cockroach dude. Oh, Will Forte on SNL tomorrow? That sounds... I mean, I don't want to get too excited. I don't really get excited for SNL these days, but he's going to do MacGruber. But then again, the sketches are like... You got sketches, TV show, and movie. And the power rankings there are movies #1, TV show, then the sketches. So, I mean, look, I'm not going to turn down MacGruber in any form, but yeah, that'll be fun. Oh yeah, the Flood. The Flood are a bunch of crazy caterpillar things that live in a library, and they chase after a talking drone thing from Portal, and no one likes the cockroaches. That's also in Halo 1. I don't know how any of these buildings are connected. This Umbrella Laboratory, church, lava factory, parking garage. There's not a lot of in-between teaching me why these are all connected. Anakin says, did you know about the Metal Gear Solid 2? You don't play as Snake for most of the game twist before you played it. Yes. Apologies if you've heard this before. But I'll tell it before I check this. Basically, long story short, I worked at Funkoland at the time. Before Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, we got the strategy guides before we got the game. My manager, Kevin, was just flipping through the Metal Gear Solid 2 strategy guide. I didn't want to see it because I didn't want to get spoiled. And he just casually goes, huh, I don't think you play as Snake in this game. And I was like, what do you mean? It's Metal Gear Solid 2. And he goes, no, check it out. All these pictures of some blonde guy. And I was looking at it and I was like, the fuck is this? Oh, wow. Lucy playing the game didn't know that. Lucy didn't know the twist? Oh, shit. I should see that VOD. Does she not even know who Raiden is? That's fun. I feel like Drew knew, didn't he? That's great. Yeah, I'm bummed I knew the twist. I've had a lot of twists spoiled for me.
Woden had left me a present.
There was a guy that I guess was a Game Informer fan, ? That whenever there's a highly anticipated game coming out, he would email people on the staff and just spoil it for them. So, yeah, I saw a lot of emails that were just like, here's the spoiler. Great, thanks. That's a cool guy thing to do. But then a lot of those games wind up being some of my favorite games, and it doesn't actually matter.
Warden had taken care of my mission preps with military precision. The critical areas in the Acer Corporation headquarters blueprints were circled in red. The president's office was at the top of the building, right below her penthouse suite. The elevators were controlled by a security computer, part of the mainframe located underground below the building. The high-rise was sealed as tight as a sci-fi fortress. Nicole Horn had blackmailed the inner circle into silence. The tape came with a curt extortion note on a piece of expensive paper. I remembered Candy Dawn taping her clients in action on the side, selling the tapes to the highest bidder. I was sure that kinky sex was nowhere near Alfred Woden's worst sin. But I had a feeling that when this was over, any collateral would come in handy.
Just shoving a VHS cassette in your leather jacket pocket. I don't even know what to search for, but I was thinking I get a lot of nostalgia out of like old footage that's actually just straight up rips from like TV in the 90s. Like Tim Turry has shown me a bunch of just like, here's a bunch of 90s cereal commercials or toy commercials. And I have a bunch of old tapes, VHS tapes in this closet here of like, I used to tape every like Daily Show and Letterman and Conan and all that stuff. And I have commercials. So like, I like the idea of just like raw, like here is a feed from 1998, 2002, you know? Because like there's so much nostalgia wrapped up in those commercials and things. It's not just the content itself.
Engaging hostile.
Stair jump, that's cool. Oh, that sounds great, Pog form. Yeah, so like that's the thing. Like I would almost love to find like lots of, you know, just VHS tapes on like eBay. And what's on this? You know, it's just like here's a Cinnamon Toast Crunch commercial and not like fucking 8mm with Nicolas Cage or something. But like, you know, just fun like 90s stuff. Stream of watching old commercials. I would fucking love that. But I bet those are filled with stuff. There's a Twitch channel called Forgotten VCR. Takes old 80s and 90s ninja movies and makes mixtapes. That sounds fucking great. That sounds like what is happening here? Where do I go? Who's shooting me? Hey Siri, remind me Forgotten VCR. That sounds great. It seems like it's also a great raid option if I don't see a good option. Is it 24/7? Is Kmart still around? I don't know. I haven't seen a Kmart in a while. Not 24/7, and they don't save VODs. Interesting. Was he placing those? Did you see that live? Still a Kmart in Minneapolis, really. Website called My 90s TV that's good for just throwing old commercials or other stuff at you and has a bunch of options to filter it. That's cool. Let's just go into the next room with a grenade launcher and see what happens. Nothing. Turned out.
I had dreamed of revenge. Those dreams were always nightmares, of coming close and then failing. Now I was close. I had a name to guide me, Nicole Horn. I had nothing to lose.
That Dana Carvey clip is incredible. If you haven't seen that, like even if you never saw the Dana Carvey show back in the day, I would highly recommend that Hulu documentary. It shows a bunch of really good clips and talks about just how the Hulu documentary does a great job of contextualizing how wild that fucking show was. Because it wasn't some Adult Swim show. It wasn't something that was on late at night on Comedy Central. It was on primetime ABC. And the first fucking episode, it comes on after Home Improvement, the biggest fucking comedy on cable. And, well, I don't know, Seinfeld might have been technical, but one of the biggest shows on the planet at the time. And the first fucking episode, cold open on Dana Carvey as Clinton, opening up his chest to reveal 6 nipples, and they bring in a bunch of fucking puppies to like drink from Bill Clinton's nipples. Primetime television, it was fucking insane. And the writers were Steve Colbert, Steve Carell, Louis C.K., Robert Smigel, Dana Carvey. Like, it was a fucking who's who. And oh my God, it was so ahead of its time and fucking weird. And I loved it as a kid. I was just like, oh yeah, Bob Odenkirk. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck am I watching right now? It is fascinating, awesome stuff. And the Hulu documentary does an awesome job of contextualizing it all.
There were rows of cabinets full of files. The Serpentine Secret Society went back a long way, always pulling strings from the shadows. I couldn't say I was sorry. Woden's move in some Byzantine power game had cut the Circle's membership roster to 1. The old man wanted me on cleanup duty.
I forgot to tell Craig Ferguson. A lot of people asked me that. I think I would have loved him. I just never really saw him. I've seen more Craig Kilborn than I've seen Craig Ferguson somehow. I don't think this ever actually happens. You see this in movies a lot. A lot of times a hapless fool will lean into something and this happens. I've never once seen this happen. Has anyone in this chat, there's 500 fucking people in this chat, has anyone seen this happen in like a library? Ever? I don't even know if it's physically possible. I don't think they build shelves that way. I mean, it's good for like diving off the ship and shooting and looking cool. Okay. Big Dump Farts worked at a library and says they never saw it. And if you can't trust Big Dump Farts, I don't know who you can trust on the internet. I tried to go into the... I don't remember why I wasn't ever allowed in, but several times I wanted to go into the New York Public Library when I was in New York. So I used to walk by it all the time, and it looked all cool, and I'd seen it in movies, and it had the 2 big lion statues out front. I remember one time I had to do with a backpack, and there were like 3 times I was like, I'm finally going to get to go in there and be like, oh, I recognize this from the movies. And I wasn't allowed in. I don't remember why. It's a bad story. I don't know why I told it on the internet. Ghostbusters, yeah. Yeah, and there's the Gozer building there. I would see that from Central Park every once in a while. It's cool to be able to see that. Ooh, look at all this. The fight scene in the library in John Wick 3. The thing with Common, the gunfight in that transit hub building, that's really cool. That's a really cool spot for a... oh, fuck yeah! Face off! Somewhere over the rainbow. Man, so many good movies have parts where a bunch of fucking SWAT guys are coming down on ropes. First John Wick versus first Taken. Which is the better movie? First John Wick. I mean, Taken's fine. I enjoyed Taken, but fucking John Wick. Is John Wick 4... there's a better word. I almost said taped. Is it in the can? Is it in post-production, I think is what I meant to say. Don't mind me, I've just worked in production for a long fucking time, and I apparently still don't know how to talk about it. How is Total Recall not at least A tier? 3 boob lady alone gets a B tier. I mean, trust me, as a young man, that was definitely... There were 2 things you remember about that movie as a young man. It was the 3 boobs, and it was being scared about the lady taking her head off. Better opening action scene than the opening to The Professional? You know, Bonk and I watched The Professional a couple years back, considering it for Payne in the stream. I know this might be sacrilege. People have strong feelings about that movie. Don't know if it held up quite as well as I remembered it. It was Bonk's first time seeing it, and I remember she wasn't enamored with it. And I remember thinking like, outside of, Gary Oldman kicks ass, as he always does. But yeah. I forget what the opening was. What was the opening of The Professional? Gary Oldman, God, Bonk and I watched so many movies from the 90s, and Gary Oldman, we did an episode on True Romance, which I thought that was a lot of fun, True Romance, but like Gary Oldman, fuck, man, 90s Gary Oldman, untouchable. Jean Reno. Oh, Onimusha 3's Jean Reno. Fucking Dracula. Bonk will back me up on this. Bram Stoker's Dracula is a fun watch. Oh, Tiptoes, Spring Break. I've seen that. If you haven't seen, by the way, folks, if you haven't seen the trailer for Tiptoes, starring Gary Oldman, check out the trailer for Tiptoes. I wouldn't say watch the whole movie, but check out the trailer for Tiptoes. Even in the Christian Bale Batman's, Gary Oldman's freaking great. Yeah, and like that's a more understated role for Oldman. I mean, 90s Oldman, just one from Fifth Element to Hannibal, like to, fucking Professional and True Romance. Oldman is, look, I'm not saying anything that's not been said a million times, but he is just that chameleon, and he kills it every fucking time. If it wasn't for Cage, Gary Oldman might be my favorite actor of all time. But Oldman's like almost a character actor to me, even though he's played so many kind of leading antagonist roles and stuff like that. So I guess I don't know if I'd call Gary Oldman a character actor. He's bigger than that. But yeah, Cage. I talked to Bonk a lot about Nicolas Cage, and it's like I just think he legit has to be my favorite actor of all time. Because from all the silly stuff we've talked about on Payne in the Stream plenty, but all the legit great movies we've done, from Pig, which is this amazing drama, to the Face-Offs and the Rocks, which are some of the best action movies, to kind of the ironic, weird Nicolas Cage, like Con Air and some of his dumber roles and stuff like that, and Vampire's Kiss, to crazy sci-fi horror like Mandy, oh man, Cage is absolute. Oh, Port of Call, Bad Lieutenant, yeah. If you haven't seen Pig is killer. The more I think about Pig, I liked it a lot when I saw it, but that is a fucking powerful movie. I would really check out Pig if you haven't. He is without a doubt, I think, my favorite actor of all time. Seen that new Cage movie where he plays himself opening night? True Blue, it depends. I'll see the reviews and see what people say. Like, I don't like it when things are in on the joke. I think that just kind of ruins a lot of the appeal for me, is when it's like, oh, wacky Cage, we're going to make a movie about Cage being wacky. Like, I don't like that. I like it when it's authentic, you know? That's the stuff you can't replicate. Yeah, Mandy was awesome. Willy's Wonderland, yeah. Like, that's the thing. Cage does a lot of that stuff now where I think it's like, it's in on the bit, and it just ruins it for me, you know?
CIA, FBI, you've seen one, you've seen them all. Sure, good for a practice run. But this, working for her, oh, this is the real thing.
Raising Arizona's great.
The money's astronomical. And best of all, you get to kill any scumbag who gets in your way.
Joe Malkovich is great.
License to kill. Like James Bond.
You're just naming a lot of properties in this game. GMC, X-Files, James Bond. Colt 45. It's Colt. Anything else. What was the tagline in the Billy D. Williams Colt 45s? It just works. What was it? It never loses. What the fuck was it? And Billy D. Williams would be like, Colt 45. And he would say, it's a good thing. What the fuck? Works every time. That's right. Works every time. I always thought that was so vague, but I loved it. Like, works every, like, you get drunk every time? Because, yeah, that's what it does. It works every time. This malt liquor. Yeah, it does. Those are great commercials. Katie, it's alcohol. If I made an alcohol, that would be the tagline. It's alcohol. My dad was yelling about a beer once. He's just like, what is it? It's liquid, it's brown, it gets you drunk, shut up. It's like, that'd be a great tagline. Just ending a tagline with shut up. Oh, this is some fucking Matrix music here. This is straight up the Matrix. I'll say it again. First Matrix movie kicks so much ass still.
Problem. It wasn't as if it hadn't all been done before. An eye for an eye, the first principle of revenge. Old as dirt, still going strong. The cardinal rule in going after someone with an intention to kill was not to make it personal, which it almost always ended up being anyway. It did with me. I took my time, cruising around the city in the snow. There was no hurry. I knew what I had to do now. I took my time,
Brooklyn
thinking
Bridge.
about it, building up the rage. When I was ready, I parked the stolen wheels at the front entrance of the Acer Corporation headquarters. Got out, got in, got cracking.
No, old socks, I haven't.
With Nicole Horn's name on it. I had 10,000 bullets with the Hag's name on them. She had ultra high-tech
10,000?
security systems, enough mercenaries and weaponry to start World War III. There was no.
You ever think about that last shot in Fight Club? And it's it probably killed a lot of people.
Veil of snow. I had crossed the threshold. This was her domain, sleek and sexy and soulless, all glass and steel. A place of color-coded security key cards, metal detectors, and surveillance systems. Colder than a walk-in fridge. Cold as a gun.
Avid Demon says, I feel like it's too late for me to see Fight Club. If you haven't seen it by now, Avid Demon, it would be fascinating to see what someone thinks of Fight Club seeing it for the first time now. Because when you're 15 in the year 2000 watching that movie, it feels like it's the smartest thing anyone's ever made. But looking back on it, it's like, I think a lot of people watched it wrong, like didn't quite get what that movie was trying to do and took the wrong message from it. And yeah, I wonder, I haven't seen Fight Club in years and years and years, but I'd almost be curious to go back to it because I was fucking obsessed with Fight Club. Read the book, just fucking, oh my God, just thought it was the smartest fucking thing I'd ever seen. Okay, we're back in the Matrix, hang on. wow, this again, I saw someone in chat earlier saying that, like, this game was in production by the time The Matrix came out. This is uncanny, though. Look at, like, that is straight up. Wow. Fight Club was the third DVD I ever owned. Christian, yeah. It would have been around that for me. Matrix was my first one. As a family, we owned Twister. When you're a family in Kansas, the Kansas government would send you a copy of Twister just for preparatory reasons. But The Matrix was the first one I purchased, and Fight Club was right up there. GoldenEye was your first, MM Gant? Good choice. I saw GoldenEye on Watch Party. GoldenEye is real good. Matrix, a lot of people's first DVDs. Yeah. T2 Special Edition, nice. First DVD was Saving Private Ryan. I mean, DVD came around right around the same time a lot of good fucking movies came out. Enter the Dragon, nice. Oh, good. People obsessed with Fight Club grow up and make Mr. Robot. I never actually saw that. I know Bonk watched it. I've heard good things about it. Gone in 60 seconds. That lines up. That came out in, what, 2000? Okay, am I gonna have to... Okay. My first DVD was Weird Al UHF. Excellent. Okay, what are we dealing with here? Am I gonna be able to snipe this guy? Okay. Yes! Oh, there's two. Fuck. First DVD was The Water Boy. Everything everyone is saying is just extremely in my wheelhouse of being obsessed with movies and working at a theater and buying DVDs. My unit of measurement of like how much things cost was like DVDs. So like if something was like $25, it's like that's more than enough for a DVD. And if something costs $40, like I could get 2 DVDs for that. I don't know why I measured everything in DVDs. Beverly Hills Ninja, excellent choice. Rush Hour. When did DVDs start coming out? 97, 98. Fuck! This sucks. Godzilla with Matthew Broderick. Deep Rising. Hell yeah, Deep Rising. Okay, I'm doing something stupid. Deep Rising with Treat Williams. Treat Williams. When was the last time anyone's thought of Treat Williams? Raise your hand. Who's thought of Treat Williams the most recently? Okay, this is proper responses, yes. Okay, no one knows who Treat Williams is. That's right, okay. Treat Williams is in Empire Strikes Back? Okay, there's 3 guys up there. Nobody knows where in Empire he is? Wow. It's not going to work. What just happened? he dating Carrie Fisher? Okay. Would DVD have the best game in the special features? Good question. I remember Fight Club had some Easter egg stuff. The Fight Club DVD was actually a really cool package. Oh, they were friends. Okay. Okay. I did it. Red Dawn had a kill counter. That's very smart. First Dates, I never saw that. Memento. Right, that's cool. They were trying some weird stuff in the early days of DVDs. Itchy the Killer, I had that. The Matrix have an interactive red pill, blue pill thing. That sounds familiar. I don't know if it was actually anything of note, though. Wild Zeros had a drinking game that if you tried to follow it, you would die. What the fuck is Wild Zeros? I've never even heard of that. Who's shooting me? Do movies even have stuff like that anymore? I don't think so. I think physical media is not as much of a thing, and certainly not on streaming. What do we... Oh, hi. Netflix has some, really? The last DVD everyone bought? I'll buy like 4K Blu-rays whenever I see there's like a sale or something, like, oh, this whole box set of like all these Rambos or something, you know. Jeez. Sonic movie. Blade Runner 2049, yeah. I do like having stuff on 4K. I don't get everything, but like the big ones, you know, the Terminators and all, like the movies that like I know I'm gonna want to like occasionally like be in the mood for. Like, let's just put this in, you know. I don't think Commando is in. Can somebody confirm, is Commando not on 4K? Because I don't have it on 4K, and if it's on that, I'm gonna get it. It's not. Okay, thank you, Unknown. Yeah, we'll do that, like, if Bonk and I are doing something for Painting the Stream, and it's on streaming, but I have the 4K or something, it's like, well, okay, I mean, like, sure it's going to be fine on the streaming, but, like, I'll throw the disc in. Very glad, in retrospect, that I got the disc versions of the consoles. Oh. Resident Evil. Okay, so this is going to be a jump one. I don't know if you can crouch walk.
Good choice.
Thank you, Nubby. Run under this. That's unfair. Frankly rude. It's the garage. Ah, fuck! Before Vulcan Raven. Oh, did autosave there? Look at you, Max Payne. Smoke my cigarettes, Max Payne. Deep Throat's about to quit the call. Blu-rays came with a code for digital copy on ultraviolet. Don't they still do that? Tuong Fu. Lady Pixel, yeah. Is Swayze in that?
Mona, looking good.
Max, we gotta stop meeting like this.
It will be a cold day in hell before I let a
What's the snipes?
stop me. Miss Sachs, do your job.
Relax, Max. You're a nice guy. I don't kill nice guys.
You're not bad yourself.
It was different when Horn wanted Punchinello dead. To cut her ties to the Mafia. He deserved to die.
The same goes
That's
with
every
her.
shot,
She's
them
the
pointing
bad
guns
guy
at each
here.
other.
Her sister was whispering
That's
to
a
her
good
in
point.
my favor.
Okay.
I knew the appetites of ghosts intimately. They hungered for revenge.
Quit talking like that.
No!
That sounded like a GoldenEye sound effect.
She
Ooh!
fell down in slow motion. She was a nice girl. Not really a stone cold killer. And now she was stone cold dead. Like religious fanatics or loyal samurai, Horn's private army was coming at me.
So the guys were coming to shoot me. True Blue says, if this were a parody, they'd be pointing their guns at each other during the sex scene. That's a good bit. That's funny. That's like a Trey Parker. That's like a Hot Shots. They made a Hot Shots 3. They would have that scene in it. That's VHS you got. Jesus Christ. Fuck. I'm trying to think back. I was like Mr. Show and stuff. That was even on DVD. Naked Gun. Might have been Deep Rising? I think that was back when I was just buying anything that Famke Janssen was in. The Haunting. Remember there was A Haunting on Hill House and The Haunting, the one with Jeffrey Rush. I think that was the one with Famke in it. And I had The Haunting, yes. VHS that came with the game magazine. Yeah. Wait, I just came through that. Yeah, Twister started the DVD era for me. Star Fox 64 Nintendo Power VHS tape. I should get that and the Donkey Kong Country VHS tapes. Anyone see any good deals? Like packs of Nintendo. Oh, look at all this shit. VHS tapes on eBay. Boring has the DKC tape. I had both of them. God damn, I've had and lost so much fucking video game shit in my life. I shouldn't be upset. I certainly have a lot now, but fuck, I had a lot. God, several people have that. Wow.
When the elevator came back down, Mona was gone. There was a lot of blood, but no body. Something clicked for the final time. My mind had never been so clear, as if somewhere high above the storm clouds were already gone, cold stars blazing from the black skies.
Pokemon VHS. I had a lot of wrestling VHSs. A lot of... I'm sorry? Oh shit. This is Mission Impossible 1 stuff. This seems not ideal. Oh my god, Piston, that sounds great. Piston, DM that to me. That'd be fun sometime. What the fuck do you... Oh, do I have to... Wow. Which I can't fucking see. Shitting me? Not how elevators work. Remember the part in Mission Impossible that was like weirdly violent for a PG-13 movie? You get Emilio for that?
You know what I'm talking about. In all the cool action movies, and I'm talking about the coolest of the cool, it always seems like time slows down in the middle of the action. You know, you can see the bullets flying through the air, the hero dodging in slow motion. Oh man, it would be so cool to be able to do that. Bullet time, that's what they call it. Bullet time, yeah, would be so cool.
Where? What? Huh? Dude, I was being cool. That's cool. Was it crazy when the first Mission Impossible came out? Oh, yeah. No, when the first Mission Impossible came out, it was like absolutely like top tier action movie. Like this is like peak of the genre type stuff. Like I didn't understand fucking anything about it when I was a kid, the knock list and any of that shit, but like undeniable the helicopter part and the like rappelling down, that super high tech security thing. Like yeah, that was a huge fucking movie. Very confusing, but I loved it. Bonk and I watched it several years ago, and it's really fun. Bonk and I took the weirdest course before Fallout came out. I think we watched 4 and 5 before Fallout came out. Then we watched Fallout, and then we went back and watched 1 and 2, and we never got around to 3. And I remember 3 being really fun for Philip Seymour Hoffman. I remember him being super good in it.
I had elevator access to the mainframe. From there, I'd be able to override the security locks and get to her office.
I don't know if Bonk's still watching, but Bonk. Mission Impossible 3. The only one of the 6 we haven't seen. I don't know if you guys remember the watch party we did with Mahardy, but Mission Impossible Fallout is a fucking perfect action movie. Perfect. And like, I don't talk about Mission Impossible as much as I talk about like the face-offs and the rocks of the world. I don't put it on quite that tier. It's extremely well made, but I'm not like, it's one of those things where it's like when I watch it, I'm like, oh yeah, these are super fucking good. But like, I didn't even see 4 and 5 until right before Fallout came out. Like, I never really made it a priority or anything. But man, Fallout is incredible. I remember I got Big E to watch Mission Impossible Fallout, and he was texting me saying that by the end, he was literally standing up in his living room by himself, applauding at the end of Mission Impossible Fallout. Like, that movie, you don't have to be a big fan of the series or anything. That is a killer fucking action movie on its own. Fallout in D-Box? I never did the D-Box thing. That sounds cool. Yeah, Benny, I had the exact same thought. The end of that fist fight, I like in the theater, I remember being like, this is the most Metal Gear bullshit I've ever seen in a movie, and I love it. Love it. Piston. That was a lot of fun. I need to listen to that again. Stop relaxing during elevators. What are we doing here? Okay, yeah. This is pretty cool.
The unmarked chopper was Horn's pet guardian.
Revolver, you saw the
flawless.
MacGruber series.
It was
Nice.
stalking me.
Back half is way better.
I hate to be stereotyped.
Horse betting? This is a sports book? It's Control and GoldenEye. Let me throw a bunch of remote mines up on these screens here to make them float. Protect Natalia. Oh wait, I mixed up Bunker and Control. Yes, this is Control. I'm glad I bought that complete in box. Perfect Dark. Just bought a complete in-box Star Fox 64 with the Rumble Pack too. Big old box. Excited about that. And the chainsaw controller should be here tomorrow. So, fun stuff. Fun stuff coming to the Museum of the Gaming Arts. Laptop gun. That's one of the coolest fucking weapons in an FPS ever. Need a Resident Evil 4 to go with that. I do need RE4 for GameCube. Pretty bad. I saw a Wii version at Goodwill a couple days ago, but it didn't have a manual and it was covered in like some weird strawberry sauce, and it was the Wii version. I know, Dash. I know I picked the worst time to get into trying to collect complete in-box stuff, but it's not like it's going to get better necessarily, you know? What's happening? Cool. Potential watch party, Mission Impossible 1? To be honest, I was looking at stuff today because I am in the mood. It's been a while, and I really do like doing those. I can see myself doing a watch party at some point in the near future. Maybe after the next Smash Your Bed Supercard, which I would love to do in January. I apologize. I know it's been getting pushed back and stuff, but just waiting on stuff to be doable, schedule-wise and stuff. I have work done on it. I've shot some stuff. I've got the card ready to go. So it's not like it's at 0. It's just gotta wait on some stuff before I can do it. We're smashing up the place? Mission Impossible 3 watch party? No, I don't want to save that for Bonk, because Bonk and I watched all the other ones together, and I'd want her to see it. Why? Did I miss dialogue? Was I not paying attention? It's always possible.
All the way up.
Couldn't hear any of those words, Max. Oh wow, Lady Pixel. As far as when K. Rool Intentions is, I will say it is on the short list. And I promise I have not forgotten about it, and it will happen when I can do it. Home stretch, okay.
Seen from this height, the night seemed to stretch on to eternity.
Piston, I can see
A
that.
hint of desperation had crept into the snowstorm, as if it was trying to get it all out before the end.
D-Van, thank you. Skin. legit holds up extremely well. As someone who has zero nostalgia for it, and never played it before a couple weeks ago, I will speak glowingly of Max Payne going forward. This is really a tremendous thing for the time it was made. I'm very excited for Max Payne 2, based on what people are saying.
Horn's personal computer was on.
Oh, a personal computer.
Next to the printer was a neat stack of expensive paper. Hacking through Horn's computer would have unearthed files of criminal plans, strategies for world domination, spy helicopter reports, illegal wiretap recordings, internet porno, all of the above. Take your pick. I really didn't care anymore. I had seen too much of it already.
Just shoots a computer. This ain't no good. Doom Marine shit, yeah. Really is. Man, Doom 2016 kicks ass. This is a good fucking video game right there. Was that the first game I ever streamed on? It was Doom Eternal on like, I know technically I did some stuff in like 2015, but in terms of like, you know, the last couple years, the pandemic stretch, I think Doom Eternal might have been the first stream I ever did. Yeah. Yep. Okay. How many of you folks were there for that? It was almost 2 years ago now. Grand Prix. Unknown. True Blue, Bartman. Yeah, okay. Wow, bunch. Holy shit, Piston. Great.
Valkyr had been meant to be a white-winged maiden that would lift you.
Well, thanks to everyone who's been here since then, and thanks to everyone who's joined, whether it was a month ago or a year ago or anywhere in between.
I knew. I had met him. And now I was going to kill her. The queen of the underworld who had tried to lift herself a bit closer to heaven with her drug money.
Cocking a giant gun on elevators.
No bribes.
Pretty cool.
She knew better. Honor among killers.
Well, Socrates, thank you.
We were about to die. Both of us knew how this would end, in pain and suffering.
All this because your wife stuck her nose into things that were none of her business.
That's Sam Lake's mom. That's hilarious.
The cops were coming to take me away.
I love that.
The sirens were like a bad conscience I couldn't shake.
It's ridiculous you've made it this far. You won't be alive when they get here.
Stop it!
Cougar, playing Nobody Saves the World. Time flies when you're playing that, doesn't it? I know I've been talking it up, but I've seen people in the Discord talking about Nobody Saves the World. And it's a fun fucking game. I'm not going to say it's a perfect game or a game I'd give a 10 or anything to, but like, it gets those hooks in deep. Really, really deep. Makes it hard to stop playing.
Max Payne, this is futile. A waste of time. The deaths of your wife and daughter were necessary. Inevitable. It is done.
This feels very beginning of Perfect Dark to me. Beeping? I feel I'm not supposed to shoot this. Oh wait, is there another side? Patches says they did announce a new Perfect Dark, right? I didn't imagine that. Patches, you had me wondering for a second too, but yes, I do believe they announced a new Perfect Dark, yes. Game Awards. This is weird now because it's not like it used to be everything got announced at E3, and now it's like, what the fuck weird thing did it get announced as?
Max Payne.
Do I have to just kill the fucking thing?
The death.
Great. Game Awards. I feel like I never see the Game Awards.
The elevator lobby. Get us back up now.
Max Payne. This is futile. A waste of time. The deaths of your wife and daughter.
Okay. Christian, absolutely. Bunch of bots.
A waste of time.
Is she supposed to be in there? This sucks. What? Am I just missing some large part of what I'm supposed to be doing here? I don't see any painkillers.
Your wife and daughter were necessary. Inevitable. It is done.
Okay, just take cover. Just sit here, am I cool?
The elevator lobby. Get us back up now.
Max Payne. This is futile. A waste of time.
Appropriate bumble. Oh, Cougar saying a bean while we chill. Alright. That sounds fair. Fuck. Hang on. Wait, did the sound alert play? Do you guys hear the yippee-yo? Hang on. Sure. How about that? Did that play? Okay. Gross one. Nope. Stink bug. Wait! Stink bug is suddenly back on the menu because I bought a giant refill bag. Is it just... Let me see. It's low? Let me see. Maybe it's just the Yippee one. Tell me if this one's low. Is that low? Oh, this bag smells terrible when you open it up. Okay, so that pointy one just must be low. I need to delete that one. Let me just do it right now because I don't want people to put in their hard-earned business and not get what they pay for. So that is removed. Oh, this smells terrible. Okay. 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 Let's try this. All right. There's the toasted marshmallow in there. Okay. Toasted marshmallow or stink bug. Every one of these has been a subtle build-up to toasted marshmallow, and it's been delicious. I don't know what stink bug tastes like. I don't ever want to. Yeah. We're good. Yeah, I think that's good. Doesn't really taste like a marshmallow. It kind of tasted weird, to be honest, but it definitely wasn't bad. So I think we're good. I think we are good. Thank you, Cougar, for that delicious marshmallow jelly bean. I gotta find an elevator.
Max Payne, you are fighting a losing battle. You cannot survive this. You will die. Make it easy for yourself. Accept your fate. You will die here.
We're good, right? Where? Oh, hi. Hurt. Empire State Building? What the fuck are we doing here? Oh, shit. Okay. This is very Matrixy, too. That's no good. What you want? It's already a scary situation.
Max Payne, face it. You are up against an unbeatable force. You have already lost. You have lost. This will set you free from your pain. Accept it. Surrender. Give up.
Where's the fucking jackhammer? Oh, it's dead. Okay. Limping.
We have him in the North Lounge.
Painkillers will fix a limp right up. Okay, so Vinny Bush says some Death Stranding level symbolism here. As someone who I don't think I ever pick up on symbolism, what are you? I don't even know what you're referring to. Is there something obvious here I'm not seeing? Wait, Max Porter Bridges. Yeah, I get that. With Death Stranding being obvious. Yeah, is there something obvious here? Like, is the helicopter symbolic of, like, Payne? Oh, I see.
Max Payne, face it. You're up Accept it. Surrender. Give up.
There really is a cabinet full of painkillers. Storm, yeah. Shit.
Max Payne, face it. You're up against You have lost. Only death will set you free. Accept it. Max Payne, face it. You're up against You have already lost. You have lost. Only death will set you free from your pain. Accept it. Surrender. Give up.
This game kicks ass. I like this a lot. I just think more video games should be like this. Shit! Dying every time? It's probably a good place to save, huh? Alright, that's the new door. I'm gonna pee. Alright.
What do you mean he's unstoppable? You are supposed You are better trained, better equipped. You outnumber
Wrestle House! Hello! Great to see you, sir.
Not a step further.
What are we doing? Everything looks like the Matrix. Now this looks like the fucking, is it the Aztec level of GoldenEye? Is that what I'm thinking of? Is this like the end of the Aztec level of GoldenEye? The one you can only unlock if you beat all the stuff in secret agent mode? That's very specific, but maybe you know what I'm talking about. Okay, a knocking nose. Okay. Okay, I'm not crazy. Button? Is this just gonna be a gauntlet? Or do we just open a door? Yeah, D-Van, totally. The Moonrakers. How long is this game total? I heard it's a roughly 8 to 10 hour game. Tracks with what I'm seeing if I'm near the end. Dragon Ball Evolution is on Prime. Is that the live action Dragon Ball that's supposed to be terrible? If so, that might have to be at the end of K. Rool Intentions. Hey Siri, don't let me forget. Remind me about the Dragon Ball live action for after the Smashy Bet. What happens here? Remind me about the Dragon Ball for after the trash bed. Okay, no, I won't know what that means, but maybe we'll get there. That sounds real bad. Trash bed, yeah. After the trash bed, we're gonna simmer in the trash bed and watch that.
Roger that. Attempting to land now. It's gonna be tricky.
That's in the cheesy corn at Jack Stack. It's good stuff. Under the Jack Stack on Ryckert Street, the new one. It's a weird thing. Going to a barbecue restaurant a few weeks ago in town on Ryckert Street. I did not know they extended Ryckert Street to be non-residential, but that's it was interesting. Tickle Bits, that sounds perfect. Okay, this is going to be a helicopter fight, isn't it? This is going to be like the end of Twist Metal Black, I assume. Yeah, just that's how bodies fall. No, I won't hit A. I want to see where this goes. Just soft. It's snowy. It breaks the fall. Yeah, let's check. Oh, we're good. That's just the scene from The Matrix. Okay.
Classic MacGruber.
My mother wanted to take me to see the newest Matrix movie despite the fact that both of us haven't seen any of those movies. Oh my god. I've seen and loved The Matrix, and I hated The Matrix Resurrections. If you haven't seen any of it, that sounds like the worst experience possible. It's bad if you know the movies. It's all about the movies. Oh man. Okay, how the fuck do I do this? Grenade launcher? I wish there was a way to pause and switch stuff.
She's on board. We're out of here as soon as the wind dies down. Don't like the look of that mast.
Okay.
5 seconds.
Watch the full escape. Impotent. I do like that. It's just shooting pistols at them. That's cool. I like. That's a cool specific death scene. What? I've already gotten 2 of them? How to do that?
15 seconds to lift off.
It must be infuriating to watch me play video games, right? It must just be the worst.
Okay, ready to lift off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Why does anyone watch me? It's the funniest fucking thing to me whenever I have to talk to people that don't know video games at all, and somebody's trying to explain what I do for a living. And it's like, oh, he plays games, he does game stuff. This has happened all the way through Game Informer, Giant Bomb, and everything. And everyone just thinks I'm like some fucking esports fucking Dota guy or something. And it's just like, I don't have anyone there to laugh with me. I'm just like, no, I promise you, I am not the best gamer in the world. Like, oh, you must be like a big, serious, professional level gamer. No, I mean, professional in that I get paid, but like,
15 seconds to
I'm good at this stuff.
Okay, ready to lift off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Damn it.
Christian, going from a 203 to a Seafoam. Fancy tonight. I feel like Max Payne is like a fancy drinking game. It's like, that's why I like drinking a little bit of whiskey or some nice beers or something. All right.
45 seconds.
Esports.
Lift off in 45 seconds.
Yeah!
Okay, ready to lift off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Eat shit. First Ryckert. We have a demon. I'm sorry you saw that. I'll fall right on the fucking helicopter. Fuck yeah. That's cool as shit. It's like that fucking gorilla jumping on that helicopter in Planet of the Apes.
What the hell is going on here?
Pretty clear. A good fall off a building ending to an action thing is great. The ultimate Die Hard. Die Hard's the ultimate. No, that's good. That's really good. This is shot like, again, you have to put this in the context of 2001 or 2000? 2001. This is incredibly well done. La Bamba, yeah. Alan Rickman.
They were all dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger. And then it was all over.
This is awesome.
The storm seemed to lose its frenzy. The ragged clouds gave way to the stars above.
Max Payne, this is Deputy Chief Jim Bravura from the NYPD.
All good names. Every name in this game is good. Max Payne. I feel like we undersell. That's a good name for this guy.
A bit closer to heaven.
Look at his fucking face.
The cops' voices were distant and muted.
Freeze! NYPD! Hold it right there!
My ghosts released me from their haunting. Down below, New York City glittered like diamonds on black velvet.
You gave us one hell of a ride. Take him down to Central Booking.
You holding like a roadkill frog?
You heard the man.
Woden was there in the crowd, standing by the sidelines. It wouldn't be over till the man with the patch would say so. He'd say the right words. I knew he would. He'd better. Woden grinned smugly. It was the grin of a winner. That made two of us.
Oh, nice. So this is a cool fucking thing about this era in video games. Is that, can you imagine now, in 2022, a big game, like Max Payne was a big game. This wasn't some little fucking indie project or anything. People heard about this. It was in magazines. This is a big thing. Where in the cutscenes or the interstitials and everything, it would just be pictures of just like, it's clearly the developers. It's just clearly the developers and their fucking mothers. Like this face, this guy was a developer on the game. And he's Max Payne, the main guy. There is such a cool, scrappy element to that. You know? Or it's just like nowadays, imagine any fucking AAA game that wasn't focus grouped to shit and just had the most obvious voice acting and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Kane and Command & Conquer, that's another great example. It's just like there's a certain scrappiness to that is admirable and that is so fun. And I think this game is so fun. I think it nails what it was going for. I think it plays extremely well today. Man, I'm into it. I am into it. I'm going to play 2, and I've heard great things about 2. What a fun ride. It's great length. It's exactly the length it should have been. I feel like it would have dragged a little much. Like even like near the end there, some of the like parking garage stuff. It's like, all right, we can shave off a little bit here. But overall, like if I were to
fuse it,
this is a solid 9 out of 10. This is a 9 out of 10 right here. Very, very, very good. Esteban asked about the blood platforming. Definitely, maybe the weaker elements of the game. They're short enough. If there would have been like 2 or 3 more of those sections, that could have brought it down a little more. But no, this is that wasn't that bad. It was fine. Max Payne 2 is more of a bigger budget game. Okay, yeah. The blood platforming was sort of reviled universally. Is it a 9 in 2002 terms or a 9 in modern terms? Well, I'm not really thinking that way. I guess I'm not saying it would hold up with 9s of today. So I guess I'm thinking of, yeah. The whole time I've been playing this, I've been thinking it like I've been placing it where it existed in history, and so I think it's a 9 where it was. You know what I mean? Big video. Recognizing these names here. 3D Realms? I don't really know a lot of 3D Realms people. Worked with Rockstar a lot, I wonder. Max Payne has only started his journey through the night. The pain has only just began. More will follow. More will follow. Look at that. Let's close this shit out here. Here we go. Max Payne. It's a good fucking game. I'm glad I played this. This is really good. Extremely ahead of its time. Big fan. Can't wait to see where it goes. Max Payne kicks ass. See ya.